All right, guys, let's get this party started here. People sent this to me in the Discord. It's the ReviewTechUSA, A Rich History of Failure. And I think his name is Rich, so it's like a silly little play on words. I don't really know too much about this guy. People tell me he's a little bit of a lolcow. I almost talked to him once, maybe a year or so ago, but I ended up going to the hospital, the emergency room, for heartburn. I didn't realize it was heartburn. I've been having this problem for a while. Isn't that incredible? And then it never kind of, happened. Kind of fell through, which is whatever. So I'm kind of curious to get a little bit of a history on this guy. So, let's do this video from June the King. Let's get this party started again.
ReviewTechUSA is a tragic case, one of instability where both ends of the emotional spectrum play.
It sounds like there's a problem with fat old guys. Let's be real here. Boogie, ReviewTechUSA, Wings, maybe me. I don't even know. Sounds like we struggle to exist in this atmosphere. There's something about us. I don't know what it is.
Against them.
Because you're dumb, and your kids will be dumb.
Based, I think? I don't know.
You don't come to a stream for someone else's baggage.
I mean, I cried on stream once. I felt it was a vulnerable moment. I'm not proud of it. I was not proud of it. It's happened before, dude. You know, that's why we've been doing pretty good taking a chill pill. Well, Tipster, yeah, that's another good one, too. That's the worst one. Well, Boogie's worse. Yeah, probably. Oh, it's okay.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
These extreme reactions are coming out at the lowest point of his channel, which previously released highly relevant, low-effort videos taking service-level glances at gaming news or subjects parallel to gaming.
Damn. He's fucking really hitting with that one. Hey, listen. Who wants to do any high effort, am I right? When you could do low effort.
Though this is no longer the case.
Oh, the video's a little quiet? Guys, don't even worry. It's not.
Now, Rich's focus is on streaming and producing music to little avail. He's either
music? Okay.
too subdued by intoxicants, where dead air and awkward pauses fill his streams, or sober and anxious.
Damn. Let me know if I need to turn the video up, by the way.
Lashing out at those he feels have wronged him, like his former editor, Jay.
You're the sidekick.
Oh, I heard people, they're like, oh, can you talk about this Jay thing a while ago? And I don't really understand what's happening, so no, I can't talk about it. I don't know the lore. What am I supposed to say? Yeah?
Where you go. You couldn't cut it. That's why you became my editor.
Rich's self-destruction has also unearthed a history of doxing. Poor research that at one point had the former president of Sony call him stupid, and a history
What? That sounds funny, actually.
of lies and drama that were almost forgotten, but are coming back to form a rich history of failure.
All right, let's see the history.
In late 2009, a channel named ReviewTechUSA began uploading. This was Rich Masucci's, an American man with a tech background, second attempt at YouTube. Uploaded was...
What was his tech background? I wonder. Especially back then. It seemed like you didn't have to do, a whole lot. But, if you were a little bit savvy on computers, people were like, wow. Now you could just use ChatGPT. I don't even know how to say it. And just go, you basically get all the answers to everything, and you won't have to worry about it. It's crazy,
It's video after video of video game consoles, spanning virtually all console generations, from the Atari 2600 to the then modern Xbox 360. These were off the cuff, simple overviews of the consoles where Rich of ReviewTechUSA often interjected his own stories with
DSP. That's another one, guys.
The devices. The same could be said about his other videos that range widely on topics. This one was playing into a stereotype that women enjoy being on the phone longer.
I guess so. Maybe.
This video, though titled "Is Steve Jobs Dying?"
that humor doesn't really hold up nowadays. I feel like because now nobody wants to answer the phone. If you call me, I'll be kind of annoyed because you just text me.
It's really about Rich's experience with Apple products and the history of Apple. Those looking to find facts would scarcely find it on this channel. This could work to Rich's benefit. While he was not very keen nor uniquely knowledgeable of the products he was reviewing, he was very opinionated and confident in what he was saying.
Same, dude. Same stuff.
This means he had much to say and many videos to make.
That's why I have a negative perspective on God of War 3. It's a little overrated in my opinion, guys. Okay.
Evidenced by his catalog. And after about a year or so of content creation, his beliefs had become established. Rich was a fan of console gaming, believing it was superior because of its ease of access and affordability against PC's customizability that also lends to its complexity.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Taking a side in this never-ending debate meant that his opinions resonated with those that preferred consoles, and those audience members would become easier fans of Rich. But the same could be said about the opposition, all of which could be found inhabiting the...
I used to be a big PC guy. I'd be like, oh, PC's the best, blah, 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 blah. Now I just don't care. I kind of find the convenience to use a controller. Funny enough, you could just use the controller on your PC now. But I still kind of prefer... I mean, I got the PS5 just to play God of War, so now I kind of like it. You know what I mean? I feel like I have to like it.
The same tech space. Blackbuster Critic, or BBC for short, was a creator that pushed PC gaming over consoles. This, in late 2010, eventually led to a light feud between the two and an online debate hosted by the BBC.
So I'll let you
Big black cock.
have the post first, or the stand, or the soapbox, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and then we'll go from there.
What do you want me to talk about first?
State the case of why, PC gaming is superior for everybody.
After about an hour-long debate, Rich concedes.
I'll be the first to admit that he owned me.
All right,
I'm saying it. I'm the man right here saying it. So, you will have a good holiday, and I will, even though I am owned, I will still put this video up on my YouTube channel because they wouldn't be right of me not to do it. So, have a good one, man. It was great talking with you. And everyone.
While things were
Okay, I guess he lost.
cordial between BBC and Rich, they were not exactly friendly. At least not in the same sense of the channels that were promoting Rich's channel on their own YouTube pages like 3 Kilobytes, specifically Mike and Jay.
And I'm Jason for 3 Kilobytes. My last name is Hoof, and I like to build houses in Minecraft.
I think this is the first time I'm seeing like the nerdy history of video games, like on or the nerdy history of YouTube. Usually it's just a bunch of people saying racist, edgy stuff on YouTube, But this is actually seems almost kind of innocent. It's like, hey, we're just kind of talking about video games and just being kind of like a silly guy, being a few silly guys. That's silly.
Whenever Rich hit a milestone, like a subscriber goal or obtaining YouTube partnership, which meant he could earn ad revenue from his YouTube videos, he made sure to thank these channels.
They've helped me out big time, especially Jay. I communicate with him the most, and thank you so much, man. Honestly, the reason I hit 1,000 subs, the second half of it is mostly due to his help. And of course, as many of you know...
1,000 probably meant a lot more back then, you know what I mean? Like now there's a diminishing returns, I feel like, on it.
Because probably like 80% of the subscriptions have been from them, is 3 Kilobytes. All of them, of course, but it's...
Wait. 3 Kilobytes. It sounds... Were they trying to do like a KKK type of thing? Or that might just be or is that just my next level brain?
Especially Jay.
What is happening here?
Mike. Honestly, my channel is where it is because of what Jay, Mike, and Kat have done to promote me.
By 2011, things were going well for Rich. Not only was he earning some revenue from his channel, he was remaining somewhat consistent and fair with his losses, going as far to release a video titled, I Can't Defend Consoles Anymore.
Oh, damn. 245,000 views. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Right now, folks, I know a lot of people are going to jump below and write comments saying they can't build a PC, or it's too hard.
Just go to get an ends. If you can't build a PC, which like I can't, I mean, I guess I have before, but it's like, I don't think it's worth it. Just get an NZXT PC. I'm not even kidding. Like NZXT's got some good stuff, I like those PCs. I mean, they're pretty good. This is what I'm using right now. It's a pretty good PC, so fuck building it. I'm not trying about that life,
Or it's too technical. No, it's not.
This was inspired by the infamous hacking.
Like they have websites where you could go on it, and it'll basically tell you, what parts are compatible with each other, so that you don't mess yourself up and get like non-compatible parts and all that. But again, I just rather get like a pre-built from NZXT. The issue is you don't want to get a pre-built from somewhere that's shitty or dishonest. Like you don't want some Alienware.
Of the PlayStation Network that effectively brought the online services down for months. Though he did not abandon the videos on the debate, as this was still one of the largest draws of his channel. These were alongside clickbait videos that were presented outwardly as his research, to then be revealed that Rich was reading from a singular article while interjecting some of his opinions. His channel covered a wide range of topics, now even adapting the commentary tropes of the time, like commentary over footage of an unrelated game. Because of the undistilled nature of this channel, his views were hardly consistent. Most videos hovered around 5,000, but some reached hundreds of thousands of views. With Rich...
Hey, listen. That's not bad. You can make some... I mean, I don't know how good the monetization was back then, but you can make some good money doing shit like that.
Increasing his output to now nearly a video a day in late 2012, his views were slowly but surely starting to pick up. Being that he did a face reveal that same year meant that in 2013,
Wait, he didn't start with his face reveal? Oh, okay.
2013, he did not shy away from creating vlogs, but Rich was unsatisfied with the equipment he was using. The camera specifically was not HD and had a very low frame rate, and if he did make more vlog-style videos, he could negate the possibility of copyright claims that came from using gameplay footage. What Rich wanted was a new high-definition camera. This is what...
Now you just use your phone. Although this was back then before they had like streaming software, right? You pretty much just put your camera on your video game and you just put it over there. That's kind of weird. That's interesting.
Inspired the video, I Need Your Help, which has long since been removed from his channel, but archived third-party compilations that demonstrate how catastrophic not so much this video was, but the endless responses and poor handling of what should have been a simple situation.
What was catastrophic about it? It's not like he's like, hey guys, I could use some help buying for money for a PC. I mean, that sounds fundamentally fine. If you're asking people for money for something and you're being upfront and honest about it. Hey, can I have money for a PC, guys?
Yes, I know I'm going to be called an e-beggar no matter what I say. But I'm doing this with a twist that no one else has done because I don't just want your friggin' money.
I do. Just give me your money. I don't respect any of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Really don't.
You don't have to donate any money to me. It doesn't matter. Just watch the ads. And if you have an ad blocker, then eat my balls.
I honestly don't. What do I need? I need a camcorder for the show, straight up.
Okay.
Using gameplay footage, I'm constantly dealing with getting copyright claims on my videos.
Rich goes
Wait, is he using other people's gameplay footage, or was this just back? Sorry, I'm a little tired. Was this just back during a time where using gameplay footage would potentially get you copyright struck? Which one is it? That's because who cares if you use gameplay footage, you know?
goes on to explain how he would avoid the title e-beggar by donating the $500, which is the amount he was seeking for the camcorder, a year after he receives the funds to a charity of his audience choice. What's more, if the donation goal is exceeded, he will refund any of that excess money. This is overly complicated. Even
Okay, so he's going to donate the money and then also give it money back? He's asking for a loan. What?
for 2013 YouTube that was less accepting of creators petitioning for money or earning it through sponsorships, the depths that Rich was going to just avoid being called an e-beggar, something only the smallest sections of his audience would even care about, exposed that as an insecurity and point that he could easily be pressured by, easily trolled from.
The only people that pissed me off, even though I expected it, is when people said they donated, and I would see like the same small group of trolls like going around and attacking people.
It did not take long for Rich to get that money via donations. He even bought a cheaper camera that was about $140 less than expected. But he made the mistake of addressing the trolls and the BBC.
So I went out
The fucking BBC is killing me.
and bought a new tool. A Sony HDR 260V. And let me tell you right now, it is a phenomenal camera. And I bought this with my own money. How about that?
That
Okay.
was a Blackbuster critic. While he did not mention Rich or ReviewTechUSA by name, he did expose the criticisms that he knew bothered Rich. This was bait, and Rich readily took it.
It's your old buddy Rich from ReviewTechUSA, or
Yeah, I mean, I guess he just didn't have the money to do it himself, man. I mean, there's really nothing to respond to. If you do, be like, hey, sorry, dog, I don't have money, bro. You know? Just hit him with the old reverse reparations or something. I don't know. Do something race related. Be a silly guy. The joke's terrible. I can't even fucking talk right now. I'm so tired. I had a nice day with my wife. So, what the fuck was I trying to say? I was trying to make like a play on something. Let's just move on, dude. He fat, white, bald. Let's keep going.
ReviewTechUSA. You've had some colorful things to say about me. Let's
Oh, there you go. There's probably a race joke in there.
just do it the good old-fashioned way and debate it live on Skype and see how it goes.
The good old-fashioned way. Skype, certainly old-fashioned. I remember Ventrilo. That's where we used to do stuff. Ventrilo. What a fucking time, man. Jesus Christ.
The offer's on the table, buddy.
TeamSpeak? Not really. I use Vent mostly.
Hopefully you accept.
Not only did Rich flub this situation by taking the bait, he also challenged the BBC to a debate.
How much did people like care about this? Like whole you asked for money thing. Was it something anybody even gave a shit about or what?
Which the BBC readily accepted.
What I said could be applied to a lot of people. But this one particular person personally came to my video and was talking trash. And if you want to come out and Skype me and debate like you say you do, and I know plenty of things, plenty of questions to ask you, which you're going to goof up on.
What's the debate? Like, hey, why did you need money for a camcorder? I don't understand.
Just like in our last debate, how I led you by the hand like a child encountering your own points.
Damn. Why is this so serious? It's just about like what's better, PC or console. I don't really understand. Who gives a shit? People get that fucking toxic about this? This is crazy.
That's what's going to happen again.
This debate did not come
Okay.
as Rich failed to show, but he did release a video showing that he did purchase the camcorder and did not pocket the donations. While the BBC continued to respond, what was more important was that Rich's responses and continually addressing this drama was inviting more and more trolls that Rich was responding to.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. A lot of times people are just looking for a reaction and then you give it to them and they start gooning and shitting themselves, you know?
Master Flex, everyone out there who's deeply concerned about what I'm doing, you need to, don't go into the whole thing, oh, I'm trolling, I'm just mind messing with you. You personally messaged me, told me to calm down. It's flattering, bro, it really is. I'm glad.
That's all I told you?
Just make a video once in a while proving that you have a life and put a woman in your thumbnail and we'll all be impressed by what you do.
Even the videos showing the receipts for the donations were directed towards his trolls rather than his supporters.
All I can say is, I'll never do it again. I mean, I hope this proves now that I wasn't trying to, you know, scam anybody or do anything.
How often, like, how many videos did he make about this? I mean, it's like one thing to make one video, I guess, to respond like, hey guys, I actually bought it, you know, people are trolling, blah blah blah. But how many videos did he make about this?
Or the table or be unethical. And for everyone out there who's going to go into the whole thing now, that I was just looking to get a tax break on my taxes.
Here's one. Check out Smartphone News Nation for awesome mobile reviews. Does he do like reviews on mobile stuff too? What the fuck? Why have multiple channels? I feel like you could just do that on one channel.
Do you really think I would? I didn't even think of that until after people said it. Do you really think I would have went through all this crap to save 30 or 40 bucks over a year from now?
It turned out that Rich owning this new camcorder and all the turmoil that Rich invited was for naught.
I like the gameplay footage better. It's more laid back. You know, don't like 90% of people in the comment section were like, yeah, just, you know, keep it gameplay footage and you know, use the camera for.
He bought it not to use it. I mean, I've been there, but that's funny. It makes sense. Although I thought that the reason was to potentially. So it sounds like it was his gameplay footage. I had assumed it was someone else's. You know, and I guess this was the time when they were kind of hitting people with copyright strikes if you use gameplay footage, which is silly to me. But I feel like it's much more stimulating for people when they have a game to look at. On the flip side of that, you're probably going to invite a less mature audience, maybe. But at least back then. But yeah, I mean, there's something for people to look at. I imagine that when I'm doing like reviews of my stuff, most people probably aren't even watching the video when I'm doing reactions. Maybe you're looking at the actual video in the corner. But I get a lot of questions usually when I play Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. You know, it's just like something stimulating on the screen. At least for me, there's different things that'll kind of stimulate different people. For me, that's something that'll like keep me interested in it. Like when I watch TikToks, for instance, like for some reason, the captions that people put up, like the AI generated captions, I like stare at those. Like obviously I use it to help read as well, but there's something weirdly stimulating about it. It's like the most action on the page sometimes. So
for other things with ReviewTechUSA, I'm like, oh, okay.
This information came from a video where Rich announced that YouTube was now his full-time job. Though it grew steadily for the past 3 years, it was not until now that his YouTube channel was outperforming his job in terms of pay. And with all his time placed in his channel, the results were immediate. Month after month, his views kept doubling as his output of videos increased like never before.
Hey, I mean, good for him.
Everything increased. His revenue, his views, and the trolls that increasingly targeted Rich.
And that pussy. He got more pussy, I heard. More pussy from some sexy girls. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, real quick, below is my real ReviewTechUSA Twitter account.
That's your biggest problem, having a Twitter account, you know?
I don't even really like Twitter, but what I found out in my YouTube comment section is someone made a fake ReviewTechUSA account and was going around saying very, very colorful things on Twitter.
Probably slurs.
That was only a minute-long video addressing a fake Twitter account, but rants about his trolls kept seeping into videos that hardly needed to involve them.
You're the smartest person on the planet. Doesn't matter how well-spoken you are, anything, you are going to deal with trolling, and it is going to get to you.
That was from his 100,000 subscriber thank you video.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you probably shouldn't continuously feed the trolls there. You know, it's probably not a good idea, because that usually I don't know if you guys noticed, they're looking for that attention. So if you give them that attention, they'll just continue to fuck with you more and more and more.
Discussion of trolls, it takes up about 1/3 of it.
And then I also feel like, I mean, I really, truly feel that Twitter is a very toxic platform. It has like the weirdest people on there. And so like that's probably another thing that's going to invite trolls and whatnot. You know, it's just like a very bizarre type of person uses Twitter. I don't know. You know, it really is, in my opinion, like the most toxic platform. But hey.
And though Rich states that no one is infallible when it comes to trolling, only 2 minutes later he states that he is.
The why trolls don't get to me because I know exactly what their motivation is, and they're pathetic people.
Damn.
The story Rich is telling is one of a troll that was going through hardship and was taking their frustration out on Rich. From this, he deduces trolls are pathetic, unwittingly inviting their company and encouraging their existence.
Something constructive instead of, you know, hanging out with your wife or girlfriend or family, or you just going out and doing.
Hey, what about my husband or boyfriend, huh? You don't like gays? You don't like the gays, Richard? I'm being stupid.
Something else. You think it's a better idea to go on the internet to try to aggravate or piss off or insult someone else.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That's the lamest excuse I've ever heard. That's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard.
Not everyone that increases their
Is this a live stream or is this like an explicit video?
output of
Heard.
an advert.
Because I feel like it's one thing to do something like that on a live stream. You know, you're just like venting to your actual audience, you know. But I do feel like once you make it a video, there's something a bit more meaningful to that that's probably your issue. You know, that, or to me at least.
Adverse effects.
But it seems like it's in actual videos, so it's more meaningful. Something that you say offhanded on a live stream, most people don't pay much like mind to it. It's whatever, you know. But when it comes to an actual video, like I said, it's very meaningful.
But that was exactly what was going on with ReviewTechUSA still. More strong opinions, new stories that were not as accurate as they should have been, more reasons to dislike him.
Well, you got to give me the actual inaccuracy. So far, he's just reacts to trolls too much. It seems to be the issue.
Now, I will say the issue I'm about to talk about was resolved, but it was after I screamed like a lunatic and was raging, and it shouldn't have been this way.
Okay.
I was not happy with the customer service I received, and that's why I'm making this video, and I gotta call them out on it.
This was the start of a series of videos that showcased how Rich was at the center of his problems, molding minor inconveniences into something larger. Then,
what is the issue that he had? Screaming at people? Usually if I have bad service with something, I'll just not use them ever again. Although if it's an expensive computer part, I suppose I'd have an issue.
directing them to his general audience, who would typically diagnose Rich as the issue. In this video, Rich discusses an issue with the return of his graphics card, the GTX 770, to the vendor Newegg. Not because there was anything wrong with it, but because he wanted a different card.
What?
A slight upgrade, which was the GTX 780. This is an extremely minor upgrade. Regardless, Rich went through with it and sent the card back, including a voucher for Arkham Origins.
I mean, I guess that's fine to do that. What's the problem? Did he bitch about it?
This Rich Details was taped to the outside of the card box, not the shipping box. Being that it was still outside, there is a possibility that it was lost when unpackaged at Newegg. For this reason, Rich's refund was initially voided.
As soon as she said she was
Wait, so he packaged it? Am I hearing this right? He packaged it incorrectly, so they might have voided it?
returning the
Voucher for Arkham Origins, extremely minor upgrade. Regardless, Rich went through with it and sent the card back, including a voucher for Arkham Origins. This Rich Details was taped to the outside of the card box, not the shipping box.
Was he supposed to put it on the outside of the shipping box? I was confused.
Being that it was still outside, there is a possibility that it was lost when unpackaged at Newegg. For this reason, Rich's
okay.
refund was initially voided.
All right.
As soon as she said she was returning the item to me, I saw red. Okay, this is a $450 friggin' card that's being bounced all over the country, and I lost it. I started screaming, "This is fucking bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me?
Why admit this to people, you know?
I've been a customer with Newegg for years, and I'm getting an item returned over a piece of paper. What, I thought everything was... What
Well, I mean, their logic, I imagine, would be like, oh, you might have redeemed it or something.
UPC code are you talking about? This is absolute bullshit. I can't believe I'm being treated like this." And the thing the whole time, she's like, listen, sir, I'm sorry. Listen, sir, I'm sorry. Listen, sir. I understand why you're upset, sir. While I'm screaming, which also irritated me, I'm like, stop talking over me.
Rich goes on to say,
I mean, I understand being frustrated, but why are you... Like, here's the thing. I understand being frustrated. I don't really understand yelling at the person. I feel like that's shitty, but the biggest thing I don't understand is why are you admitting this to people? This just makes you look like a dickhead.
he did not regret his outburst, and he did get that refund. And even
Well, I guess it worked. Okay. Well, I mean, that's the reality, man. People will always say, like, "Oh, I hate Karens," but they do get what they want. Let's be honest.
though he got his way in the end, he still believes Newegg is majorly at fault.
The bottom line is that is not a way to treat a customer.
While
Well, they gave you the refund back, so why would you feel that way?
Newegg did incorrectly void the return, it was Rich's demeanor and rage at a service employee that was not responsible for the mishap that displeased his audience. Additionally, this was seen as boasting, with Rich likely seeing himself as someone who was stalwart in the refund he deserved, rather than tearing down an employee who was restricted from making an equally furious retort, therefore defenseless. The top comment of this video reads, quote, "Don't lose it with frontline personnel. It's not their fault. They get paid a shitty wage to protect their supervisors and managers from the public. Rip into supervisors and managers by all means. That's different." Unquote. The majority of comments echo this sentiment, while others comment about the chaotic harvesting of dirt in the Minecraft footage being played, likely because his brother was responsible for recording the footage. Rich then posted one of the longer negative responses he got onto his Facebook. Not once, but twice. This was only one of the videos that was poorly received in October 2013.
Wait, what did he post? A longer negative response?
But twice.
I guess I'm going to joke, guys. Someone wrote this message to me regarding my Newegg video, but there is no need to shit on Newegg rep. Oh, all right. I mean, that's another thing. You probably shouldn't really be... I don't know. I try not to really respond at all to comments that people make. Sometimes I'll like a comment, but I try not to, especially if it's a negative one, because you're really just asking for more negative feedback at that point. If the only thing that you interact with is negative feedback, then you're going to get more of it, or you're just kind of, you're asking for more of it. It's also unfair to people who say positive things for you to interact only with the negative stuff. Like, I understand why you'd want to interact with the negative stuff, because it fucking triggers you. But again, you'll have people that are like, oh, I like your content a lot, yada, yada, yada. You don't give them any attention, but the guy who goes in there, it's like, oh, actually, you're a fucking idiot. That's the person that you want to give the attention to. It just doesn't really make that much sense, So I just try not to do it. I try to make myself as little of a person as possible on other platforms. Like, I don't respond to comments on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It's very intentional. I try not to. I try to keep that like separation, that boundary. So like I'm not a person. I'm just like the poster of videos, if that makes sense. It's not a huge thing, but it's like I feel like it's meaningful,
This was only one of the videos that was poorly received in October of 2013. The second was titled PS4/Xbox One Launch Disaster Imminent. Please share.
I got all of this information.
Please share.
From very, very reliable sources. Okay?
All right.
Yeah, I'm just going to call them little birds. I can't even give you their gender. Because if you found out any information about them, or if a big company found out any information, they would be screwed and blacklisted, and I would be screwed along with them.
Rich plays into how high profile his source is, and then breaks down all that he was told.
Well, I have some
Wait, so you can't tell you... Okay.
bad news for all the guys who were hating on the Xbox One, but it's going to be 720p on both the PS4 and Xbox One. So what are my thoughts on all this information? Well, I hope the sources that I have are wrong.
There were a few speculations in that video that were on the wilder side. Luckily, Rich got his wish granted. A user sent Rich's video to Shuei Yoshida on Twitter, then the unexpected happened. Yoshida, the president's son, responded with 2 words directed at Rich. So stupid. Besides being humiliated by the president of Sony, nothing much happened.
Wait, so was his prediction correct, or was he just told? Did you just get told that he was fucking stupid?
Rich did warn of the possibility that the information may not be 100%, and his continued success overshadowed whatever negative attention he got. It took only 6 months.
I mean, that's the problem with doing some kind of breaking news content. You're setting yourself up for fucking failure, bud.
After this, for him to hit 200,000 subscribers. And like his 100,000 sub video, when discussing his channel, Rich talks quite a bit about trolls and drama. This time, the discussion took up about half of the video.
He's really got a fucking thing for these trolls, huh?
Don't let the drama get to you, because once you go down that path of getting defensive and making videos defending your honor, quote unquote.
Oh my god! I love how he's making all these videos about how you shouldn't let the the trolls get to you. Well, but it's really just him letting the trolls get to him, right? Like that's exactly what's happening, but he's disguising it in this. So it's just a silly little thing that he's doing there.
You're down that slippery slope, and sometimes you can't get back up from it.
To direct entertainment in a way that reflects what the audience wants to see, rather than to vindicate the creator, is sage advice.
Don't make your personal problems become part of your channel. You can't, man. You gotta keep your personal problems off. And if you're having problems that you just don't feel like making a fucking video, don't make a video.
This is the safest route in content creation, but has Rich had the willpower or stability to follow through?
I took down the Patreon account. And
me too, man. I wasn't offering anything. It was just asking, like, at a certain point, it was just like, hey, you want to give me extra money? Which is fine if you want to, but it just seemed unproductive and a waste. So I took mine down, and, now I just have what I got. Now I just have my YouTube, and then I have TikTok, Instagram, and I have a second YouTube. I actually started to go up. It's Eclipse YouTube. It's just what I post on Instagram and TikTok. So nothing particularly meaningful, but, if you want to go follow it, do your thing, man. It's in the description. Playa.
Many of you are going to wonder why.
Not of the live stream, if you're watching that, but if you're watching the video itself, it's there.
Some of you think I was trying to sweep it under the rug, which is another reason why I wanted to make this video, because this video is staying up, and people will know that I had a Patreon campaign posted temporarily.
For a period.
What was the Patreon campaign for, and why does he feel? Is this just like some weird culture where people were like upset about asking for money or something back in the day? Or was it cringe to have a Patreon? Like, I'm not understanding what the what the problem is here. I mean, that's the implication, that there's just some kind of an issue with having a Patreon, just fundamentally.
Rich had a Patreon active in 2014. Its purpose was to make his videos ad-free, but it vanished as quick as it went up.
The second reason...
Wait, so did he do it so he's like, oh, subscribe to this? Wait, I'm not understanding. Did he make the actual YouTube videos ad-free, or did he just make did he repost them on Patreon for free? I mean, that's fine if that's what he wants to do.
And this is honestly the straw that broke the camel's back. The second reason that I took down my Patreon account is these same people, advertisement videos, like say when I had an unboxing for Dollar Shave Club or Loot Crate, so on and so forth, were the same people who were also complaining about me doing the Patreon campaign. I do a YouTube commentary channel where I comment on news and talk about my opinions and have a fucking blast doing it. And if that pisses you off, that either means one of two things. You're delusional or you're jealous. And if you are jealous, you need to get out of the house more.
This video...
Well, I'm just like missing something. I'm really not understanding why he took the Patreon down. What? Because they're trolls? I'm very confused.
Was released only 6 months after his 200,000 subscriber video. It shows that the innocuous claims of e-begging still holds power over him. It also shows that, contrary to the new egg video, he is not stalwart in his beliefs or what he does. This was a major criticism as shown in the comments of this video. Quote, please never get involved with politics. What a flip-flop. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, definitely always get involved with politics. Actually, the less informed you are, the higher, the better it is, dude. Run for office. Be 80 and be president. Fuck it, dude. YOLO.
When you're rich. I thought you were made of stronger
Run everything to the ground, baby.
stuff than this. Why take down your Patreon account? Because you're afraid of trolls? Newsflash, trolls will always exist. Unquote.
Is that why he's taking it down, because he's afraid of trolls? I truly am not understanding. Like, something is just like confusing me about this Patreon. I really don't understand why he took it down.
On that same note, the following month, Rich released a similar video, a parody titled, A ReviewTechUSA Hater Tries to Do Gaming News.
Yo, what's going on, man? My name is Steve, and I'm here to expose that fat fuck, that piece of shit, e-begging piece of shit, ReviewTechUSA, and expose
Wow, he's really getting a lot of slack for this e-begging thing, huh?
him for the fucking bitch that he is. Alright, so watch how easy it is to do news stories like that fat white Uncle Phil looking motherfucker does. Look, watch how easy.
Hey, don't insult Uncle Phil like that, brother. That one episode with like the dad and Will Smith like started crying, like, why doesn't he want me? That shit fucked me up, dude. I actually cried myself. That was so goddamn sad.
Easy it is. So I have an article right in front of me. Okay, this Blizzard donates World of Warcraft pet sales to Ubulu.
In the comments, Rich claims...
I'm not understanding, because it sounds like... So, what it sounds like he's doing is insinuating that what he does is hard. And I think we all know it's not. I do it. It's not hard at all. It's a very easy job. When people are like, oh, your job's so easy, it's so low effort. Yes. I'm proud of that. I mean, I don't know if I'm proud of it, but I'm happy about it. I'm blessed. I think I don't get off to working hard, just so that people know. Like, I don't like working hard. I never want to work hard. I can. I used to. I definitely have. My old job, I've used to work 2 jobs. You know, I've worked, 70-hour work weeks. I don't want to. I don't like doing it. So that's a big motivator for doing this work. It's great. I'm very blessed. But when you say stuff like that, like, oh, that type of video, it sounds to me like you're trying to communicate that your job is difficult. You know, like, I'm sure that it's a little different. Like, not everybody has the skill, I guess, necessarily to do this type of thing. It's somewhat of a public speaking thing. But it's not hard at all, man. It's fucking great. It's incredible. But
this was a parody for a different YouTuber. Being that Rich has shown himself to react poorly to his own trolls made this video seem in poor taste. The comments are either remarking Rich as brilliant or just childish for releasing this video. Quote, you say that don't give trolls what they want or just ignore the haters, and then you make this? I like your videos, but this was just pathetic. Unquote.
He's probably looking for a video idea to make.
This was on top of exposing the ease of reading articles as the center of his job, but in the parody, he was framing it as difficult. This was not a good look. It was only a few days later that Rich received 2 troll copyright strikes claiming that they owned the explosion Rich used in his intro.
What? They cloned the explosion? That's fucking weird. YouTube has got like a problem with people putting in dumb shit. Oh my god.
It was clear it was a troll.
Hope I watch your videos a lot. This is the first stream I can make it to. Hey man, thanks. I appreciate you stopping by, brother, and I appreciate you watching.
Because the channel that had reported him had clips of the BBC debating Rich.
The video is now gone because they got caught with their pants down. They probably deleted it right away, which, sad day for you, is that even when you delete a video, YouTube still has it in their database. So when this claim goes through, this counterclaim goes through, they're going to look into that. They deleted the video though, so no one could see it.
As an additional response, Rich directs his viewers to his second channel, seen in the description. As Rich periodically addressed his trolls and gave them more power, they continued to grow and expand their list of tactics. In around 2015, they clung on to possibly the strangest campaign of trolling they'd ever use. One that's absurdness attracted those joining for the humor and the absurdity, and others that saw it as a true calling.
Hello, comrades. I would like to present the Big G's anthem. I encourage you to keep hitting the channel and fighting for Big Cheese.
He thought that he could get away with taking $200 from Big Cheese.
This is Big Cheese reporting in. I want you guys to stop trolling, the guy that did me wrong.
I decided to do the decent thing. I made a change.org petition to have ReviewTechUSA sponsor Hawk.
Stop messaging me saying to stop something that I had nothing to do with at all.
Am I like fucking stupid today? What the fuck is going on? What's this troll campaign? Did he actually get people to lose their money? I'm so confused. Or am I getting trolled by the troll right now?
I had nothing to do with it.
Come at me, because what I'm doing is 100% legal.
This outcry against Rich, circa 2015, was because of a deal that went wrong between content creator Big Cheese and Rich. As Rich had
Oh, okay. So okay, we're getting the context now. Sorry. That's one of the problems you get when you talk before you get your answer, huh?
begun taking sponsors for his videos, Big Cheese inquired about a spot for his channel. Their prior deal involved a laptop and things went smoothly. Continuing their deal...
Ah, yes. Maybe he promised that he'll pay for his college once he graduates, and then he didn't have the money to do that. And yeah, the classic Dunder Mifflin mistake.
Big Cheese and then sent to Rich a desktop. The deal was for 3 sponsor spots a week for what was assumed to be 6 months and an additional $200 payment made to Big Cheese in December 2014.
Okay.
There were issues with the computer's CD drive, but both parties were happy to continue the deal.
Today's video was brought to you by Big Cheese's YouTube channel. For gameplay reviews, gaming music, and vlogs, subscribe to Big Cheese VG. Link below in the description.
This was the only placement for Thanksgiving week. Already, Rich had failed the promise of 3 sponsors a week. But that's when Big Cheese reached out, inquiring what happened. Rich states that the holiday has somehow affected his ability to add placements. Big Cheese shook it off, and was pleased to find that Rich was adhering to their deal to 3 sponsors the following week. But that was it. Even though the 10th of December had...
Wait, so he got money, and he was sponsoring Big Cheese in his video, and then he just didn't do it anymore? He just stopped honoring the deal? Why? This seems like the easiest thing to do. Why take the guy's money?
Rich was reluctant to deliver those $200, instead offering Big Cheese an additional 6 months of promotion. That, or he sends a PC back, which Big Cheese would have to pay the shipping for. Either way, Rich made it clear he was not getting the agreed upon $200, emphasizing that other companies would pay him thousands for the sponsorship spots and that
I just don't see how I can justify paying you 200 plus, give you months of promotion when I have other companies who will pay thousands this month alone. So then just give him the money back or whatever. I don't understand the issue. If you don't want to do the deal, you should just give him his money back or whatever. I don't get it. Like, you made an agreement. That was you being like, if you didn't like the deals of the agreement, you should have just made it better from the start.
That it was not worth his time. The conversation then devolved alongside the deal. Big Cheese made the statement that Rich was going back on his word, which Rich refuted. As Big Cheese would find, attacks on Rich character was a sore spot.
But when I said something about that financial crisis, when I tell you he flipped on me, he went ham. Cue it. First off, no financial crisis. Secondly, I don't give a shit to keep the machine and pay out money I don't need to. That's called being smart. You get back your product and there's no contract. You seem like a man who was broke and desperate since we were calling out people's financials, but sadly,
It's called being smart. Wait.
it's not my problem. So before I say something really nasty, bite your tongue. You get your computer and take virtually no financial loss except shipping. You know, the half-working computer you sent me. Don't get smart with me, boss, because I'm not in the mood. Let me know what you want to do.
After a lengthy back and forth with threats of litigation in the conversation, Rich posted this on his public Facebook. But only Big Cheese...
Wait, why the fuck did Rich need a goddamn laptop or a computer from this guy? That was part of the payment, was $200 in the computer, and it just didn't happen to work? Why did you accept it then?
The time knew who it was directed at.
I'm a nice guy, but I'm not a pushover, and if you try to screw me over business-wise, I will legally stomp you and smile while doing it. Just a word of advice. Rich.
Wow, that's a good look. Okay.
Bruh, you're playing the victim once again. You are a victim, an emotional victim.
Damn.
This was all compiled in Big Cheese's video calling Rich out for going back on his word. Rich, rather than pay those $200 and diffuse the building tension, uploads his own video to counter
all this over $200 is fucking crazy.
Big Cheese.
So you get back anything, you lose no money minus shipping, and you get months upon months of free advertising, and you're trying to turn this into me being like a scandalous thief? Go to hell, dude. This is the last video I'll make on it. I don't care who else makes responses. I know people. I was going to keep this private.
Okay, so he said that he's going to keep... Okay, so it sounds like he said he was going to keep the $200, but he was going to send the laptop or the computer back as long as the other guy paid for the shipping. I don't know, dude. If you're going to break the contract, then maybe just give him everything back. It's just not a good look for you.
Private like it should have been.
Like, I understand. Well, I mean, I understand, I guess, from a business perspective, you took some deals that you shouldn't have because you could have gotten paid more. So that's kind of you just being stupid. But, you know, if you're not going to honor it, then you should send it back. Hot take, I guess.
But since you wanted to make it into a shit show, so be it. I'm sure this is going to be an e-drama thing that everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon with, but this is the only video I will make about it.
Without any encouragement.
I mean, that's probably a good idea to not continuously talk about it, but...
From Big Cheese himself, this disagreement alone birthed the Big Cheese Crusaders. Random users that formed under this drama in order to go after Rich in whatever ways they could.
Damn.
Rich saw only a
All this seems like not a big... Yeah, it doesn't really seem like too big of a deal. Like, I guess his argument's like, oh, I'm not going to give you the 200, but I'll give you the laptop back, and you still got some advertising, so it's whatever. But I don't know.
Glimpse of the chaos to come, and buckled under the pressure.
I paid Big Cheese, and I guess I do owe him an apology. Even though I was willing to send back the product, I guess he was depending on the money that I was going to send him, and it kind of blindsided him.
Though the feud was ostensibly over, in reality it had shifted between fans and detractors of Rich, some still under the Big Cheese Crusaders.
Okay.
Whenever Rich would slip up in a video, they were certain to catalog it.
I actually truly feel that I owe Anita Sarkeesian an apology.
What? How did we get to Anita Sarkeesian? What the fuck?
Here's what I mean. Mr. Repzion, he's a pretty big channel on YouTube.
Videos like Rich's apology to the highly disliked Anita Sarkeesian over threats she was receiving, or just
what did he apologize for? Did he send the threats or something? I'm not understanding.
An ill-informed video about how DirectX 12 compatibility works. Comments disparaging Rich would soon become the least of his worries, as a new hell would overshadow them all. Around April of 2015, a channel going under ReviewTechUSA was persistent in the ruination of Rich.
Oh my god.
Seeking to affect...
I wonder if I made a channel back then, if people would have trolled me, or if I would have... I wonder. Because I just see so many fat people that get trolled. I wonder if I would have been trolled, or if I would have been like... It would have been just fun. If people would have... I would have been the troll, maybe. That's actually very possible as well. Thank you for the 3-month small gut from Silver Eagle. Hi, Papa. Happy Sunday. Hey, happy Sunday, brother.
Not only his reputation, but also cancel his convention showings and successfully scared away his sponsors.
Wait, he had a fucking convention? What?
Though it looked like this person wasn't the only one interested in threatening Rich beyond what was typical.
This is when shit goes too far.
I'm coming to the show and I'm going to shoot you in the fucking face. Oh my god, what the fuck? With a precision shot from a sniper rifle in a building less than 700 yards from the building you'll be in. I've already got a layout. Jesus, that's actually scary.
Deal with trolling on a daily basis. I deal with nonsense on a daily basis. I've been DDoS attacked or...
Honestly, like, you probably shouldn't have acknowledged the existence of this at all. Like, if you wanted to cancel the show or whatever, if that's fine, that makes sense, whatever you're going to do. But to acknowledge the person just kind of gets him, because the reality is, I'm sorry for yawning, but the reality is it probably wasn't going to turn into anything. And even if he did do it, he probably would have missed and just shot you in the ear anyway, you know? But this probably wasn't, it wasn't anything, but now this guy feels like, haha, I got him to respond to it, like, LOL, like, this is so funny. And it empowers him to do it again. So, I mean, realistically, you probably should just call the police and move on. You know,
denial of service attacked on Twitch, so on and so forth. But the message that you're seeing here, the still, is a message that I received on Facebook. When you threaten me is when shit gets real.
What are you gonna do?
Purpose of this threat was to both scare Rich and cancel his convention showing. But as Rich draws on, a claim he makes about the advice given from law enforcement is not so believable.
So I actually asked the officer if I should make a video about what happened, and he said, yeah, it would be a good idea. It could give us more information. It could help us
make a video about it. Said that? That's incredible.
Get a lead quicker. So I'm actually asking you guys for some help.
It was this line that had viewers questioning if Rich was lying.
The police said to make a video about it. There's just no fucking way. If anything, they would have recommended against making a video about this. What are you talking about?
This sentiment was shared on Drama Alert that was reporting the story.
Now, TechUSA said that he went to the police, and the police told him to make a video so people try to find this person. It seems like a little bit of a stretch. I'm not the only one that thinks it's a stretch. A lot of people...
I just don't believe that. That's crazy.
People have been uploading videos to YouTube claiming that this is just a hoax for exposure.
Whatever the case, Rich on his Facebook was firing back, claimed that the trolls that went after him...
Fucking Facebook? What the fuck?
...will be made an example of. Quote, how this shit is handled...
It's so funny. Somebody threatened to kill this guy. Now he looks like the asshole somehow. Yeah, it's just weird to make that... I mean, that has to be a lie, right? The police would probably advise against that because it's just going to draw more attention. And it's just going to give the guy what he wants. So there's no fucking way I ever would believe that. But, like, okay. I mean, it's just crazy. It's like a slam dunk. And people are like, oh man, they feel so bad for Rich. And now they're like, oh, what an asshole, yeah?
On the internet has to be changed. And I'm gonna make that change happen. They know I have info and are scared. And they should be. The anonymity of the internet should not be a safe haven for harassment. Unquote. Those seeking Rich's demise were confident. Enough so that they came forward claiming that they were the ones that sent the threat.
Okay.
We have Lizard Squad here today, and we also have Review
Wait, did he even go to the police? What?
Tech USA. Why did you guys make the death threat? Why did you get him kicked from this event?
Why would you go on to a stream or go on to a thing with the people who allegedly threatened to kill you? That seems a little ignorant, no? Why would you want to do that? I would stay away from those people. It wouldn't give them that exposure. What?
Don't you think that's going too far?
No, it wasn't going too far. It was actually our associate, Daryl Boothu, who called up too many games and told them basically what would happen if he attended the event.
Whether it was from the infamous hacking group, Lizard Squad, Review Hell USA, or any other of Rich's trolls, his harassment only escalated as more users were coming out to attack him, which Rich continued to address. Little did they know...
So, I'm not understanding. When this happens, like, the next step would be for them to get arrested, no? But if that doesn't happen, then that just suggests to me... Because, I mean, that's an explicit threat. The police would act on that. So they came forward. So... Did he even call the police in general, or did he just say he called the police and he's like, yeah, I called the police and they said to make a video, so that's what I'm doing? It sounds to me like he never called the police and he just said that. Because I guess he thought it would scare them out of doing it? I'm not understanding.
Rich was more than willing to sink to their level.
Okay, so the sponsor that came up to me fairly recently, and I'm excited as hell that we're working together, is called shadowsgovernment.com. These guys work with digital forensics, online psychological criminal profiling, and the one I'm going to be talking about the most, okay, is cyber criminal investigation.
Shadow's Government was a self-proclaimed white hat hacker. These are deemed ethical hackers who try to expose security vulnerabilities for the companies or individuals they serve or take contracts with.
Oh, I mean, that kind of makes sense. That's like a whole real thing that people will pay people to do that.
As much as anonymity is valued in the space, Todd Nicely, the person behind Shadow's Government, was...
The fuck? Oh, he's an interesting looking guy.
So anonymous.
Todd Nicely was arrested after impersonating a doctor at Somerset Community Hospital. But he says there's more to the story. Todd was a patient when he wondered...
See, if I was going to impersonate a doctor, I would impersonate a gynecologist, you know? It's like... For no particular reason, of course.
just how secure the hospital is, both physically and technically. He runs an online conglomerate of computer hackers from all over the world called Shadows.
As it was quickly found out, Nicely also had several criminal convictions, mostly related to drug possession and driving, whether it be under the influence or with a revoked license. Rich had promoted a convicted criminal for reasons that soon became apparent when Shadows sent out a bounty. Quote, Shadows putting out a bounty on their heads. Easy money. Announcement. $200 for docs on the following. Big Cheese Crusaders bullshit group. They usually go by Review Hell USA, Review Mussolini, or Review something or other. Unquote.
Gotcha. So he hired this guy basically to dox. Okay. Probably not super smart. You're really... That's the thing about people who do things for a reaction. Trolls, right? Is that, you know, a big part of what they want to do is to bait you into doing something worse. So they'll do something shitty and then they'll try to get you to do something worse than what they did. And now they get to turn around, point the finger and go, see, look at this, what this guy just did. So not exactly particularly intelligent to do that.
While this is hard to verify with complete certainty as it only exists through screenshots and videos, there is other information that has yet to be wiped, like this Facebook post.
Like my butthole.
That can still be found on Rich's Facebook. Quote, I would like to thank Anonymous, our Predator, and Shadow's Government for helping me proactively identify and locate Redacted, aka Review Hell USA.
Oh my god, thank you so much for the small gut from Big Mac. Why announce this, dude? Just like, I mean, don't do it, but just do it. And don't tell anybody, you know what I mean?
Excellent work, and I can't express my gratitude enough. Unquote.
Here is what happened with that. I forgot about it. I swear on my son, I forgot about it. I wouldn't even mention that.
Why the fuck are you swearing on your son, man? What the fuck? What the fuck? Hey, thank you so much for the gifted membership, Big Mac. I appreciate that, brother.
That Twitch video. There was a guy on YouTube who was bothering my family and I to the point that I had to get authorities involved. I'm not going to go into details.
Okay.
Basically, they threw their hands up and there was nothing they could really do. Someone said, which ended up being him, that I have that guy's information. Maybe this will put a stop to him. So I was like, okay. I mean, I kind of thought it was bullshit, but I'm like, all right, I'll put it out there.
Archived is Rich posting the pastebin of Review Hell USA. Quote, someone sent me a possible dox of the psycho that has been relentless on me. I didn't ask for it, and I strongly question its legitimacy. But what the hell? I'm tired of this prick. Unquote.
I never doxed anybody. That was the funny thing. I never looked up anyone's information or did anything to get anybody's information. That was just handed. That is all it was. I personally did not get anyone's information.
Well, sounds like you asked other people too, so.
So, it is what it is.
Rich seems confused.
I'm fucking confused, brother.
On what doxing is. Obtaining information is not doxing. Releasing it is doxing. The severity
is that true? Getting the information? I think it's releasing it or signal boosting it, though. No.
Varies on the intent and widespread of the information. Contrary to popular belief, doxing can be a crime. In the US, it is classified as cyberstalking and is exactly what Rich was doing, specifically posting information or spreading rumors about the victim on the internet or hiring private investigators. After Rich committed this crime, due to the reaction, he took it down, as explained in this Facebook comment. Quote, "Don't get it, people were freaking out. I wasn't threatening the person in the docs, and I wasn't the one who compiled it. But due to the reaction, I took it down. I really just wanted to see if anyone knew anything." Unquote.
Okay, this doesn't really help your case there, bud.
Now, late 2015, it turned out that the Big Cheese Crusaders were not only targeting Rich, but also Big Cheese himself. For that reason, Rich uploaded a video with Big Cheese in an attempt to quell the unrest.
And while I was streaming, you know, the BC Crusaders, that's what they call themselves. How the hell you crusading me? But they call themselves the BC Crusaders. They spammed DDoS my Twitch page, a bunch of followers with my home phone number saying that my wife's a whore and then my mom has cancer and then says I have your mailing address and stuff like that. So
damn, imagine your wife being a whore and your mother having cancer. That's fucking crazy, dude.
It's been pretty much the cyber harassment, cyber attacking towards me.
What happened with Big Cheese and me, there was a business deal we had, it went sour, but we squashed it within, what would you say, 24 hours of it happening?
Pretty much.
And if we can move on from it, there's no reason for it to keep continuing. And I hope maybe if people realize, oh wow, Rich and Big Cheese have moved on from this, you know, maybe it isn't as big of a deal as people are trying to make it out to be.
Oh wow.
The top comments were criticizing Rich for bringing up the trolls once more. Quote, "No, why did you bring it up? The trolls were a turn."
Yeah, pretty much. It's just giving them more power.
And you just restarted the cycle, Rich. Rich, this was a bad idea. Unquote.
We started the cycle.
It's difficult to state what effect this video had on the Big Cheese Crusaders. What is known is that at this point,
we messed up right now.
Those that were left in the movement were members that truly despised Rich, and as such, they continued to document Rich under a critical lens, seeking to spread word of his transgressions. The newest of which came from a Final Fantasy XIV review.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Is that the MMO? This is not bad, right? That's a pretty good MMO, I think. It's just like a little too Asian for me. You know, like there's some things about Asian MMOs that are just like weirdly grindy and bizarre to me that just kind of turn me off a little bit. You know?
When Rich of ReviewTechUSA, and this is going to be a very interesting video. Square Enix came
my biggest issue with that MMO is that the girl characters, their armor isn't just titties. You know what I mean? It's like if you're gonna make a girl character of the game, their armor should just be like basically a bra and panties, where the equal armor would be a very large, powerful, robust man. Fully armored, though.
Came up to me and asked me to play Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. I suggest you give this game a chance. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, apparently I think the first Final Fantasy XIV released, and it was horrible. It was so bad they shut it down, and then they released a new one, and it was apparently good. So that's cool. That's some lore for you there, buddy.
So huge shout out to Square Enix for giving me an opportunity to play this game, and I think they have something awesome on their hands, and now I can see why this game has been praised by so many people.
Rich in the video praised the game. But it was only in the
that did sound like that, yeah.
Description and the comments that he stated he was sponsored by Square Enix to make this video. That in itself wasn't the entire reason this review was somewhat controversial. It was Rich's prior, unpaid statements about the game.
And they try too hard to be different, and the outcome is games like Final Fantasy.
Oh, dude, you're really fucking yourself on that one there, buddy. You can't do that. You can't be like, this game is fucking stupid, it's bad, they tried so hard to do this, blah, 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 blah. And then take a sponsor from him, you know? Unless you played it and you're like, hey guys, you know what? I said this game was a big shit wiener, but guess what? The wiener shit was on my dick now, because it's actually really good. That's what you have to kind of go with. You kind of have to make a point of that. They look a little goofy then.
13, Final Fantasy 14, and the other garbage they come out with.
They're trying to figure out what it is, because they've made a bunch of crappy Final Fantasy games that no one cares about. But beyond the screw-ups they're making, let's talk about all these companies, you know, because they're losing money making AAA games because they either try to rehash the same IP over and over again, or, you know, they try to make...
Well, that's kind of Final Fantasy's meme at that point. Like, it's one of the only games that continuously releasing new ones is it's almost part of the meme. It's part of the character of the game. You know?
Make a half-ass game with multiplayer and hope it sells 10 million units, and it doesn't.
These were likely throwaway lines to emphasize the dislike of Square Enix and the years the videos were created. And being that Final Fantasy XIV...
Well, I mean, I guess how long before that did he release that? Because I guess his opinion can change, but... It doesn't really sound, I don't know, it sounds somewhat, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but...
Is an MMO and changes year per year, Rich could have naturally changed his opinion as the game improved. Though the clips next to each other and the lack of disclosure inside the actual video made for more reason for...
Let's see. 11 years, oh, it's 11 years ago? Oh, that one's 12 years ago. Oh, I don't know. I guess I'd...
Trolls to dislike Rich, and closed out 2015. 2016 started off just as poorly for Rich. In January, he polled his Twitter audience, asking them if he should make a Patreon. No won by a decent margin.
Wait, another one? Another Patreon?
Coincidentally.
Damn, I mean, I kind of get it a little bit. Sometimes I can be like a little impulsive and inconsistent, so I get that. It's something I've been working on with my stuff. It takes a while to get there.
Keemstar posted this video about creators being...
It takes a while to like really figure out where you want to go with your content strategy sometimes, you know?
Greedy with their Patreons.
Like, why would you ask your fans for money when you could give money back to your fans? I mean, you're the one that's blessed.
What? Okay, that's just a stupid point, but okay.
This was a repeat of the situation with the BBC. Though Keemstar did not mention Rich by name, Rich immediately responded.
Why would you even respond to that? Like, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, if you want to get back to your fans, that's cool, but like, you know, at the end of the day, it's kind of a job, so it makes sense to want to have different monetization pathways. But okay, incredible.
Responded and assumed it was him that Keemstar was talking about. The two then argued about the ethics of donations before the conversation died down. That's when Keemstar told Rich he was making a general statement that was not specifically targeting him. From here, Rich apologized.
I mean, maybe that's true, probably not, but who knows?
1, 2, 3, 4 times. This apology lasted about an hour. Quote, LMAO, okay, apology taken back. At Keemstar, really dude? I'm done after this, but wow. Unquote. Rich was not done after this, as below was a video calling Keemstar out for having a donate button on his stream page, as Rich was equating that to having a Patreon. The only person that could benefit from this nebulous argument was Keemstar, but Rich was too arrogant to see how this back and forth, his flip-flopping from apologizing to then taking the apology back, could hurt him.
Before everyone freaks out, I have no ill will against Keemstar. This isn't going to turn into some stupid thing.
This turned into
kind of seems like a stupid thing already.
To a massive back and forth between Rich and Keemstar, and eventually escalated into a debate.
Right? He's like, look at Keemstar, I take my apology back. Well, first of all, you apologized because you thought I was talking about you, okay? That's why you apologized, all right? But then you took my apology back because you found that I have a donate button on my stream. Rich, look, you said just a little while ago that you're not going to be making a Patreon.
Yeah.
Are you 100% you're not going to be making a Patreon?
Pretty much, yes.
All right, well, there it is.
What does pretty much mean?
He's not making a Patreon. So look, you manipulate the situation. You lied 3 times. We've already went over this 100 times. And you know what? Now I've backed you in a corner, and you're not making a Patreon. So I'll take it as a win.
Dude, don't
Anyone
even
else
try.
can say whatever the fuck they want. I'll take it as a win.
Yeah, of course you're going to take it as a win. You're like making these things and putting them in there to make it as a win. The bottom line is this.
You're not making a Patreon.
Semantics aside, throughout the debate, it was Keemstar's goal to bar Rich from making a Patreon, in which he succeeded, lest he go back on his word. And if this happened in February instead of January 2016, Keemstar would have had more ammunition to use. Not because of the Patreon, but because of these 2 tweets. Quote, I think it's time I released at the RTU Critics personal info. What do you guys think? Let's have some fun.
Oh, seems like a dumb idea.
At the RTU Critic, I'll make sure to add that pic of your kid to the docs too.
What the fuck? Okay, I mean, that a lot of people are going to see that as going too far if you're trying to dox this guy's kid too. It just seems shitty.
Let's make this a good one. Unquote. Rich claims this was in retaliation to the RTU Critics doxing and harassing of his family, which included his children.
Yeah, I mean, that's not good, but you probably shouldn't stoop that low. That's not really a good idea. What you should do is go to the police, but the problem is with the police is that when you go to them, they usually just tell you to make a YouTube video. Because they're like really cool guys.
Even calling Rich when he was at the gym. Though after it came out that Shadow's government had a criminal history, Rich cut ties with Shadow and tried to delete as much as he could of what happened. These tweets were soon deleted, though they are still visible through their Wayback Machine alongside the remnants of the RTU Critics campaign against Rich. There were also videos that fans of Rich made combating the RTU Critic. This fan made a rap song celebrating the dogs of the RTU Critic.
Okay.
You can't run, you can't hide, you're not going to stop my review tech pride. You could have got boxed, but instead you got doxed.
The RTU
Wow, that guy has a really elegant voice.
Critic and ReviewTechUSA are the same person, alongside a different creator known as Sierra Air.
Hey guys, in this video I'm going to expose a traitor to the Big Cheese Crusaders.
Sierra was not nearly as successful in getting reactions from Rich, but they were successful in keeping whatever was left of the Big Cheese Crusaders together. Clear by the catalog of videos, Sierra was not a very sane person, as it is not typical for someone to upload this many videos about the police or just McDonald's employees harassing them.
Yeah, no, that's very normal. I love harassing McDonald's employees. It's my favorite thing to do. The best way I harass my McDonald's employees is by asking them for food and then them getting angry at me when I order the food because they were on the phone. So, you know, sorry guys, I'm a fucking troll. I'm trolling McDonald's employees.
Regardless, Sierra did get some notoriety from those looking.
That's what happens when you go to a McDonald's in the ghetto, bro. I'm just being stupid.
Into Rich's most dedicated opposition.
Now, this person that he's adding in this tweet is not exactly as subtle about the threats he makes. I'm in Ireland. You can't catch me. Rich is.
She's not in Ireland, dude. Get the fuck out of here. You don't sound like you're from Ireland. Everybody from Ireland sounds silly like that person from that Disney movie.
His personal life will be targeted until he quits.
Mufasa.
I don't care what the fuck you think about me. I want that man dead in a bog.
Rich's outbursts continue to encourage his trolls. In this live stream, he called one the F-word.
Dude, I really, I don't care, man. And
like the slur that you use against famous people?
Thing is if I block you, then you say I'm a pussy. If you stay here, you annoy the shit out of me. Like, why don't we just meet somewhere? If you have that much of a problem with me, let's meet somewhere and we could, quote-unquote, discuss it.
Why? Why would you want to fight somebody? That's so cringe. What?
If you got that much of a problem, dude, I'm more than willing to meet. You name a place, I'll meet you there.
The only people I'm trying to meet are off Grindr. The homosexual gay dating app.
And we can have a discussion. We can discuss anything you want. I will meet you. I will put a fucking flag on my car saying I'm rich and we can meet there.
Damn. The people might think you're a little conceited, bro.
I don't know, man, but you seem that you...
That's why I put I'm poor on my car by owning a Kia Soul.
Are such a fuck...
I just paid off my Kia Soul, by the way. That's cool. 7 years. So, pretty cool stuff, man.
Fucking loser that you come on here all the fucking time. And it's annoying. And if I block you, you get pissed. If I unblock you, you annoy the shit out of me.
Why does it matter if he blocks you? Like, why do you care if he gets angry if you block? I don't understand that one.
This was a pinnacle of controversy for Rich at the time. His strategy of doxing his worst trolls and publicly making amends with Big Cheese seemingly worked in his favor. The worst that was happening to him was when he ate all that a Wall Street Journal article fed him about PewDiePie. An article that was filled with false information, decrying PewDiePie as anti-Semitic. Rich quickly took this video down and issued an apology.
It's time for me to eat a whole bunch of fucking crow right now.
In Rich's apology, he still got important information about PewDiePie incorrect, like stating that PewDiePie wore an SS officer's uniform when the costume he wore was clearly not of German origin.
What?
But for this to be Rich's most controversial video for at least a year was an improvement. Though all good things must come to an end, and Rich would find himself with more problems, some of his own creation, others falsified to destroy his character.
So let me get this straight. Rich cries when he gets doxxed, but likes it when it happens to other people.
Gee, I wonder why I flagged that down. I don't know.
And he's giving out, the state that I live in.
At least try to come after me for something I can't instantly debunk.
He also gives out my last name.
ReviewTech, who is Anna Doyle? I see people mentioning her in the chat.
On November 1st, 2017...
The guy's name is Anna? Okay.
Rich finally committed and announced he was making a Patreon. With the
Alright! Woo! Why?
Apocalypse cutting into his revenue, and with his videos full...
Oh, that actually makes sense then. You got the Adpocalypse, so it kind of makes sense that you'd want to do something to counter that. I get that.
Of colorful language and unsavory subject matter, this is what he offered to remain uncensored. While there could have been issues with trolls pointing out him going back on his word and creating Patreon, as long...
Well, I mean, it makes sense if this was at the time of the Adpocalypse, and, you know, I mean, it doesn't really matter that he made one in the first place, but it makes sense to do that here, you know?
As Rich did not address it, no one would care. For the next couple of months, hundreds would subscribe to Rich's Patreon as he would thank them for its success. Once it passed over $1,000 a month and remained there for a period, Rich made a promise
hey, good for him, man.
for patron-only streams, but failed to give any details within a timely manner. Then Rich on a live stream stated this.
With the stream guys, in terms of doing like an exclusive stream for patrons, I don't know if, I know I put that on there. I don't know if I want to do that because I feel like...
Why?
I just feel like I'm being unfair to the rest of my subscribers.
What? Oh, it doesn't even make sense, man. I'm not understanding. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever. Like, well, that's not even true. I don't know. Nobody ever would believe that. You don't want to do it because you feel like it's unfair to the rest of your subscribers. First of all, fuck poor people, right? No, but seriously, that's the thing you told people that you were offering. Why would you go back on that? That's so stupid.
This video was archived and uploaded on a channel that went by Anna Doyle. This is believed to be a sock account of ReviewHellUSA. The video showing the unfulfilled Patreon reward was titled ReviewTechUSA Undelivered Patreon Reward Promises. The only reason it is prominent now is because Rich addressed it.
Now, the video is called ReviewTechUSA Undelivered Patreon Reward Promises, and generally when this jackass makes videos, I ignore them. I have better things to do, let them say whatever the hell they want to say. But when you try...
People are probably complaining. Oh, who cares?
Try to make me seem like...
Who's going to complain about that?
Like I'm being a thief? I gotta step in and say something, especially when I have documented evidence proving that I'm not.
Rich's evidence used to debunk Anna Doyle was in the form of a post that stated he was committing to Patreon-only streams. But this was in March. ReviewTech introduced the idea in January and failed to deliver any streams for those 2 months.
Damn.
This issue is so small that it is difficult to believe many, if any at all, of Rich's supporters will care about the minutiae of this. Anna Doyle's true goal, as it has always been, was to troll Rich, to get a response. And once again, they got what they wanted.
But to everyone out there who's saying that I'm being Panhandler Tech USA and making 8 billion videos about me, I got something for you too. Panhandle this.
Damn, those are big chubby fingers, man. Wife must be happy.
This was just the beginning.
I have small fingers and a small penis, so my wife is not happy.
In April, the 1316 Killer, a creator that had long criticized Rich, received this screenshot which prompted him to make this video.
So just to let everybody know, I do not have Twitter, and I do not
Shit, based as hell, brother.
have Facebook. I actually put that in a skit
Also, I have MySpace. That was a lot of fun, you know?
that I made today, which will be going up. I don't know if I'll post this today or tomorrow, but take a good look at that.
On screen was allegedly the 1316 Killer's docs. Rich responded by denying that he doxed him. Further tweets demonstrate how the screenshot could have been faked by editing the webpage's source code. And as dedicated as his trolls are in archiving every misstep, none of them provided an archive link to the tweet of Rich doxing the 1316 Killer. There is no evidence behind this happening.
Like an actual killer, or is that just the name of the person?
And being that the 1316 Killer was sent this screenshot means that there is no proof that the text was unaltered. This is not to say that Rich was completely uninvolved in drama. As tensions were rising between Rich and his most dedicated trolls, mysteriously their videos were disappearing, like Anna Doyle's, which is when Rich was asked to show his flagging history.
Will you show your YouTube history report like Monday Matt did because there's rumors you reported Anna Doyle? I'm not showing any reports. I didn't report him, but I'm not showing any reports.
With Rich's associate being exposed for flagging videos critical of them, this became the new spearhead against Rich and was utilized by Keemstar in 2018.
I am a little confused about what the fuck is happening right now, but okay.
In an unrelated drama, Keemstar was on creator Andy Warski's stream lambasting Rich for his transgressions.
And every time I see a video from you, it's just stupid fucking opinions. I don't know why you're on the fucking internet anymore. You're dumb, you get everything wrong, you say dumb shit over and over again. I'm so sick of hearing your dumb fucking opinions.
A little ironic there, but okay.
You need to get smarter before you come on my
Okay.
fucking platform on YouTube and spread your bullshit.
Was this like a big problem where he was getting things wrong constantly or something, or what is that?
Because I'm sick of it. You're dumb. Get smarter.
Damn.
Thank you.
Got
In
him.
this conversation,
Thank you. Wow, incredible.
Rich was on the back foot, and so he wanted to make peace with Keemstar. Keemstar was willing under one condition.
Okay,
Send me your YouTube play button.
I've calmed down. I understand that you want to make peace and that you're sorry. Olive branch out there if you show your flag history.
Rich, now willing
okay.
to show his flagging history, pulled it up for all to see.
There you go.
There is information about this vehicle.
Wait.
Video is not available.
So yeah, some were deleted. See when they're deleted.
Some were deleted.
All right, so,
Those were probably from like 5 fucking years ago.
all right, so Review Tech sexually assaulted someone. DSP
Yes.
Gaming.
Gee, I wonder why I flagged that down. I don't know.
ReviewTech, who is Anna Doyle? I see people mentioning her in the chat.
That is a dude who has put out my personal information.
Whose name?
Put out, and he.
Terrible.
And honestly, I wasn't even though I did flag him once, I wasn't even the one who got his channel taken down.
Rich had lied. He did in fact flag Anna Doyle, aka Review Hell USA. What's more, with Rich exposed, Keemstar saw the opportunity.
So I'm assuming that the flags were not for anything that was flag worthy. It was just like, oh, this person's criticizing me and being obnoxious. Was that the person that actually doxed him? I mean, if that's the person that actually doxed him and like his kids or whatever they said before, I mean, he retaliated by doing the same thing, which is shitty, or supposedly did it. But I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be doing any of those things. So I'm not really just particularly, uptight about that, though.
Opportunity to dig knife in further, insinuating that he only goes after people when they are weak.
Most of the shit that I got from you came under, like, in the year 2016 when the whole internet hated me and everybody thought my career was over. And as soon as I regained, my channel, and now you want to be sorry.
No, I'm not like that.
Though this did provide yet another reason for trolls to continue their campaign against Rich, the internet at large did not care. What helped Rich avoid any of this backlash was his massive success. Shortly after this conversation, Rich had his best month on YouTube ever due to some extremely successful videos.
Oh, good for him, man. How's he doing now? I haven't even checked it. I probably should have looked at his page before I looked at this.
Was Rich's shield. Over the next couple of years, his videos would easily dominate anyone coming out against him despite his continued missteps. From a live stream covering January 6th to his dating profile being leaked.
He covered January 6th? Oh.
There was even a video theorizing he had gastric bypass surgery due to his massive weight loss.
Oh, I guess good for him. Maybe he started Ozempic before the rest of us had it.
All of it forgotten because his own videos continue to dominate the search results. In 2022, he even hit 1 million subscribers.
Damn, he really blew up during COVID. Well, I mean, that makes sense for you to blow up during COVID. Let's be real. Like, everybody blew up during fucking COVID. Very unique time.
It was around this time that he had been using marijuana and had been wanting to significantly lessen his usage.
Like, there's a lot of times like, oh shit, I gotta stream soon. Time to get stoned. And I'm like, oh no. That's not how I want to be.
What?
You know what I mean? Two things. Like I said, I'll have it a few times a year like I do drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm anti-weed now. Like, dude, I think I should make it legalized federally. I'll have it a few times a year. And it did a lot for me.
While Rich had these desires and sought the benefits, like
this guy lost weight while smoking weed? That's impressive, actually.
Possibly increasing motivation, tragedy struck Rich's life, making it more difficult to quit, or do anything else for that matter, as this happening required his entire attention.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news. His daughter is in the ICU at the moment, and he is unable to make videos on the channel, and he's unable to live stream. He's going through a lot.
That's fucked up, man. Damn. That's really sad.
Emotionally, of course.
That was Rich's dedicated editor, Jay, host of the channel JKB that was formerly 3KB or 3 kilobytes.
So far, it kind of just seems like a bunch of this is just some dumb bullshit that doesn't necessarily matter too much. You know, it just seems like some catty, petty, dumb internet bullshit. It seems like he blew up during COVID. Nobody ever stays on their COVID time. That shit was fucking crazy. But okay, you know.
In Rich's absence, Jay would take up the majority of responsibilities of the channel. But this went on longer than initially expected. Rich's daughter was thought to only need about 1 month of hospital stay, though that was less and less becoming the case.
That sucks.
My daughter, my youngest daughter, Mackenzie, is in the hospital right now with Steven Johnson syndrome.
Damn. It's always a fucking man, am I right, guys?
Which is rare within itself. There's like 20,000 cases or less each year. The main reason why I'm making this video is that things are going to be different on this channel, probably until, I'm saying realistically, she's going to be 2 months. I don't wish this on my worst enemy. This is the worst thing I've ever been through.
All right. I mean, I feel that, man. I mean, if he has the opportunity, like, then take time off. You know, I wonder how, I mean, I hope I never... No, but like I wonder if I would want to take off myself, you know what I mean? Like maybe I would want to work here and there, stay distracted, especially if the job's not too difficult. Like I mean, I imagine this job's not, if he's just giving opinions like me, I can't imagine it's super difficult. So it might be like not a bad thing to do that. But yeah, man, that's sad stuff. I mean, that's a good reason to step away if he's got the opportunity to do so. You can't really criticize him for that.
After several months of turmoil, now in July, the worst of it seemed to be over. But
That's
Rich,
good.
now being a bit more active on his channel, reflected on his content.
Unfortunately, to put it lightly, and that's an understatement, life had different plans for me. So why things got inconsistent, because my time was at a premium. I had my 2 sons here full-time for a very long time. And mostly what I stuck to was live streaming. And recently, this is what I'm leading up to.
Oh, is that what he did? You just decided to just stick to live streaming stuff? All right, let's see what we got here. We got videos. There's a Keffels video. I guess this is a goodbye a couple months ago. Talk about Sony. Why did he stop making content? Like, is there a reason? Streaming 3 years ago on live stream and EDP stream. Oh, I think he has like a different channel, right? Yeah. RTU streams. My Downfall Live. Is this him reacting to his thing? That's actually funny if it is.
They think
it is. I think it is. It's actually funny. I always say this when people like, why not just react to it like your downfall video? Like, fuck it, right? Might as well. That's funny. Hey, good for him. I mean, that's the right way to go, I think. That seems like he decided that he was gonna... I mean, I guess this is his retirement. What the fuck is this? Okay, what is happening with these... You know what? Get this off my screen. It's gonna be considered some kind of weird porn. It seems like he just decided that he probably made a bunch of money and decided to just almost like retire-ish by making a new channel and just like live streaming on it.
Because my time is still somewhat at a premium because things aren't fully settled yet. I've brought back news, kind of.
What Rich goes into is his exhaustion of covering surface-level news. He has grown tired of reading articles or glancing at similar media and filming an equally introspective piece, hardly expanding on the original flimsy work. Typically, a creator may make these changes because their views are suffering from lack of experimentation. Their content has grown stale, and in order to survive on the platform, something else must be created. This was not Rich's case. Even though he was uploading at a much slower rate than he had in the past couple of years, his views hardly suffered from his departure. This format is successful and easy to produce.
I mean, I guess good for him then. It sounds like he just didn't really feel proud of the content he was producing. I mean, that's cool. I've been there before. You know, I'm pretty happy with my content I produce now. Like, I like it. I'm actually pretty chill. I'm happy. I'm chilling out. I don't have like an existential crisis or feeling about it. You know what I mean? But I can understand that. Maybe he just didn't feel fulfilled. Yeah, cool.
But after over a decade of doing this, Rich has had enough and seeks to produce higher quality content.
I want to do more high production value stuff. I actually have stuff in the pike behind the scenes. I talk about it somewhat in live streams, but I don't want to bring it up here because when it's ready, it's ready. I've learned to not overpromise and underdeliver.
Rich is rather unspecific about his projects, but he does say he wants to create evergreen content, or videos that windows of interest are not dated. The fatal mistake was that he was killing his main channel by slowing down the legacy news content without testing any of this evergreen content to know if his format would even succeed.
I mean, that's a fair criticism. Yeah, sure. Unless he was just like so over it, it brought up so much like sadness to make his old content. He's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this.
And then months went by. There was nothing but his typical uploads at a slower rate. But he did have another announcement, a shout out to a different project.
Upload to shout out my other music channel where
fucking music is crazy, brother. Really? Music? What does he do?
Where I upload hip-hop records that I produce.
No, for how he produces them. Okay, I guess that's a little better, but also what?
Scott, I couldn't sound any more corny saying that, but no, I'm not kidding.
Rich's music channel, El Capo, is not popular.
No, who would have thought? What? What the fuck?
Rudimentary AI art would be off-putting to a typical user. Rich is spreading himself thin and is aimless. If he wanted to
That's true.
succeed and remain on the platform, he would not be doing this. At the very least, he will be creating the high production content he speaks so much of. The fact of the matter is, channels on YouTube can die as fast as they rise. And for Rich to throw away a surefire way to remain relevant or entertaining on the platform is dangerous. Not just for the money, but because, for the most part, he was in control. There is a space for Rich to continue to exist online without the need to create new videos. And that would be in the same vein as creators like Boogie2988 or Wings of Redemption.
What, just like leaning into the walkout thing and making a public embarrassment of yourself on a consistent basis? Yeah, sounds like a great plan.
These are creators that have long lost their original supportive audiences and have them replaced by viewers who mock and troll them without end. These are known as lolcows, and Rich was quickly on the path to exist only as one, especially when entering needless feuds like he did with Does It Play at the end of 2023. This all started from this video.
At least, if you're lucky, you may just get an unfinished.
I mean, like, if this guy's always making videos about, if this guy's constantly making videos about video games and shit, why didn't he just make a fucking gaming channel and just like play games and do commentary on it or something? Like live stream a few hours every day and just like do gameplay? Because I can imagine that part of the motivation for his for this change is that was very financially successful. So he's like, you know what? I want to take a step back and do something else. So why not just do that? Come on, do some playthroughs, play a game on your live stream, talk to people, then upload like just the long form video of you playing the game. Like, oh, played such a... I mean, I've been playing God of War on this channel because I don't really have it in me to make a gaming channel, like a separate gaming channel. I just feel like I would be spreading myself too thin, unironically. But like, why not do something that seems more casual and kind of in the wheelhouse of your typical content, but like more casual? That doesn't make any sense, you know? I mean, what? Okay.
Version of the game that might be playable but broken. A lot of times you get these games home.
Rich was making the argument that current day games are all released as a broken mess that require immediate patches in order to exist in a playable state.
Well, I mean, I feel like, isn't that all games, you know? Like, even old games, we just never repatched them. Like, I'm pretty sure all the original Pokemon games were made, were like fucking taped together. Like, it's just, the fucking coding is so bad on it. There's so many fucking bugs in it. And like every old game, I mean, they had literally speedrunning is the art of figuring out how to exploit the game because it wasn't finished, basically. It wasn't play tested perfectly. and then exploiting that and having like fun, you know. So I feel like a lot of games are released a little buggy, but maybe I just don't play enough new games, honestly, because I don't play a whole lot of new games. I mostly play fucking World of Warcraft. So
the same day of this video's release, Rich streamed and was challenged on this premise.
Does it play? Right here, they're real. And let me show you one else.
Does It Play is a website that tests whether games play in their unaltered state, meaning offline playability. Rich was now displeased with them because someone with 2 likes on Twitter challenged Rich on a statement about games being unplayable without patches. His major grievance was that Does It Play was one of those 2 likes.
Name a game, Does It Play, that you get from the store that there is not a multi-gigabyte update for. Go right.
Well, I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused because, like, it sounds to me like he's complaining. A lot of games now, I mean, a lot of games now you download online. But my understanding is that there was, like, a point where when they would sell you the physical disc, you would have to immediately update. So the physical disc would be, like, a little bit of the game, and then you'd have to basically online update. Is he arguing that exists? 'Cause I don't really see too much of an issue with that. I don't necessarily care about that. I do care about it. Is I bought the God of War Ragnarok Collector's Edition, and it came with a really nice case, and there's no fucking game in it. Is that what he's arguing? This seems like who gives a shit?
Right now and get me one. That's from this current generation.
Rich, in his confidence, bet money that he was correct.
I'll pay them $2,000.
Why?
$2,000. Get a game from the store, Does It Play, that doesn't require an update.
Rich added the circumstance that it had to be a AAA game, but even so, his loss was set. Just a day later, Does It Play responded with Super Mario RPG. Rich was prompted to retort, now arguing that the game industry is full of important Day 1 patches. But that was not the argument. Quickly, other creators jumped in, correcting Rich.
I mean, you said you were going to give $2,000. Gotta fucking pay up at that point.
The responses were getting far more likes than Rich's own posts. As Rich kept tweeting, the responses were growing in numbers and virtually only against him. It was only on his stream later that night, after an hour debate from a guest arguing on behalf of Does It Play, Rich admits defeat.
So, here.
Yeah. You gotta have to give that guy $2,000, brother.
On the 4th of each month, today's the 3rd, you'll pay $2,000. There you go.
Okay, well, I guess at least he honored the pay.
Where it should have ended. But already Rich was tweeting about a big surprise video, ruining the surprise with another tweet stating, quote, "Meh, at Does It Play 1 was wrong about this. It's all good. The money went to a good cause." Unquote. This was in response to Jay's tweet, claiming that Super Mario RPG does have a game-breaking bug. Seeing Rich's discontent in what should have been an already settled situation, Does It Play tweeted at Rich additional examples.
I mean, I'd be a little raw too if I had to give somebody $2,000.
That fit his criteria. Rich tweeting, quote, "Yeah, but you used the Mario RPG as an example to make me quote-unquote fork over the money. And it has a game-breaking bug that Nintendo is putting out an emergency patch for. Hopefully my funding can allow you to not make a crucial mistake like this again. Glad I got to support your cause." Unquote. Tweet after tweet, response after response, Rich only dug himself in deeper. What goodwill he regained by donating the promised money was quickly being lost.
Well, I mean, was he actually right about there being a game-breaking bug? What?
And then he posted the video addressing it.
Hello, everybody. I'm a proud Does It Play $2,000 financial supporter. And there are games that don't need updates, but the one they showed, they were wrong about, and that was Super Mario RPG. They said that, look, here's a AAA game that doesn't need an update day 1. It works right out of the box. Except for the fact that it has a game-breaking bug, Super Mario RPG.
The top comment of this video disputes Rich's statement about it being a game-breaking bug, as it is still very much completable without an update. Even so, Does It Play...
What was the actual bug? Like,
as a game-breaking bug.
Super RPG issue prevents progress, December patch. I mean, that does seem like a game-breaking bug. Patch, to fix current versions for the Nintendo Switch was an issue could prevent progress. The update was, I mean, okay, I don't know if I'd call it game breaking, but it seems like an issue. Maybe it's like a soft lock thing where you have to restart.
Super Mario RPG.
The top comment of this video disputes Rich's statement about it being a game-breaking bug, as it is still very much completable without an update. Even so, Does It Play provided other examples that went unchallenged. For these reasons, all the top comments were against Rich. Quote, "Rich is way too into internet drama for a man his age."
Yeah, that's one of the problems with internet drama stuff is that, you know, if that's your whole channel like mine, it becomes relevant. But most people don't really want to see you constantly engaged in drama. And so when you do stuff like that, like they don't care that much. So like 95% of your audience doesn't give a shit. So when you're constantly responding to different dramas and shit, it really just pisses people off. And they're like, okay, enough is enough. And like, it seems like that's kind of what is happening here.
As a longtime fan of your content, Rich, this video could have honestly stayed in the drafts. Been watching your videos for years. This is easily the most embarrassing thing you put out, and I'm saying that to a guy who gets high and takes his shirt off on stream." Unquote.
Damn, that's brutal.
The last comment was not even commentary on only this situation, it was on Rich as a whole. Rich's streams only seem to be poisoned by his gimmicks, like the frequent use of a soundboard that's mainly used for this applause sound.
Damn. Why is there... What's up with these fat guys in the soundboards? Seems like they get fucking dumpstered on that.
So anyway, there's a new lolcow podcast. Starring me. Let me go piss real quick. I promise I won't spam the applause. I know I'm overdoing it.
Does It Play ended up refunding Rich's money without his consent,
Dude, we gotta get the Tipster soundtrack, dude. It's so funny. It's so good, dude.
announced by this tweet. Quote, "Unfortunately, due to reasons unknown to us, we have found ourselves in the middle of a bit of a social media drama we clearly shouldn't have engaged with." Unquote. This is how Rich's 2023 was ended. Even so, 2024 was off to a much worse start. Rich's channel wasn't just dying, it was also being prepared for a feast, with the predators he thought he was toying with lying in wait.
And if any...
Like a real predator, or like just kind of like a silly goose thing?
One is responsible for Phil pressing the eject button, it's you fucking weirdos. And it's not the whole detractor community. A lot of them like me. But there is a portion that despise me. Because you know what it is, Jay. Jay's watching, my editor. They have...
Oh, he's doing some video game stuff. So I guess he's doing what he was already doing that. Makes sense.
Have channels that are dedicated to Phil. What's going to be the topic now?
Rich has a history of talking about lolcows.
Like, yes, I talk about Phil in 90% of my streams.
Yeah, I talk about lolcows too. It's like funny to cover lolcows, especially the ones that aren't like disabled. Those ones I kind of feel bad for because, you know, they have like a legitimate disability. Like an intellectual or developmental disability, not like a, you know, fake polycythemia vera diagnosis.
In this situation, Rich is proposing that a consequence of an upcoming documentary on the infamous creator Darkside Phil by documentarian Mike Klum would be that the detractors of...
Oh, is Mike Klum doing it? I thought Mike Klum was doing one on EDP. I'm excited to see the next Michael Klum documentary.
Phil will need to slow the production of content down, or they discourage Phil from dropping the project. Engaging in this conversation with detractors of Phil is a terrible idea for a multitude of reasons. First is that as Rich criticizes Phil, it becomes apparent that many of his criticisms are also applicable to himself.
Damn.
Second, he is engaging and...
Like which ones?
And antagonizing trolls. Third, his channel is on a steep decline. With his typical viewers appearing less and less, and more trolls gaining interest in Rich, their voices grow louder, and so does their control of him.
I know there's...
It's so ominous. What the fuck?
Like, there are some people who exist. They hate Phil to an unhealthy degree. They're just as...
Is this like one of those things where he's just maybe talking about Phil as a way to distract from his own, I guess, issues as a content creator or something? Is that like kind of the implication there? I mean, maybe.
Bad, if not worse.
Because, I mean, everybody likes to make fun of a good little cow, though. You know what I mean? It's a lot of innocent fun. Innocent for us.
Than Phil's dents. And they're like so caught up in their hatred of him, they don't even fucking realize it.
That watermark, Snortmania, is from a troll channel that is known as Snort Hogan that mainly covers...
What? I don't know why it's so dumb. Snort Hogan's so funny to me, though.
Darkside Phil.
What?
Now Snort Hogan has his talons sunk in on Rich, re-uploading Rich's stream segments that have been speaking on trolls. And
fucking Snort Hogan, what? It's like, it doesn't even like rhyme with Hulk Hogan, you know? You stupid fucking bitch. People are so goddamn stupid, sorry. Okay, it's still funny to me, I love it.
Though some of Rich's words ring true, they are being twisted intentionally by the inflammatory title of the video to both garner the attention of Rich and drive opposition towards him. And it worked.
I told you.
Oh,
I goddamn told you. And all of you cried like bitches. You're more of dents than Phil's dents. Cry. Cry hard, Snort Hogan. Cry hard, Cult of Hate. Keep...
It kind of feels like it's not worth responding to these people. Isn't that not what they want?
crying because I was right and you were wrong. Kiss my fucking ring and bow before me, you motherfuckers.
Rich in this video was celebrating that he was correct, that Phil did indeed cancel the Mike Klum documentary. But that wasn't
Oh, he did cancel it, okay.
particularly insightful, being that most saw this as
Michael Klum.
the likely case anyways. What matters is that Rich was growing ever more restless and combative with the trolls. This clip alone would appear in every one of Snort Hogan's videos from now on, but this was only the start.
You
okay.
lost how many subs?
I lost about
100?
200 people.
From what? And
Twitter.
Also,
The loss of his followers was likely from this Twitter space that he hosted.
Subs on Twitter? Like, just subscribers? Does that matter?
The only thing I will admit, because I have to admit when I'm wrong, is I overestimated that there was going to be a troll war. Okay, I'll take that L. But even down to the fact that the trolls
Why the fuck is he talking about trolls so much? I don't understand it.
blamed me, which I screen capped, for him canceling the Mike Lum documentary.
Rich was on a warpath.
So, some of Phil's dented detractors have said to me, today is the day of God. How could you be so mean on the day of God? So I said to myself, you know what? I will say a prayer. Lord Jesus, please pray for these lost souls and tell them to come suck my dick.
Detractor dents, they're different than detractors, for giving me a healthy amount of good, solid content for Jay and I this evening.
So well, first off, I'm going to start off with an apology. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably thought that I have lost my mind over the past 24 hours. I have not. It was by design. It was done to farm motherfucking dumbass pieces of shit for content, and congratulations, they did it.
Congratulations. I mean, it doesn't really sound like a positive thing. It sounds like you've made all your content about like drama and stuff, and people don't necessarily like that. I'm not understanding. I mean, my thing is, I don't know. Like, I like listen, I'm a catty bitch. I'm gonna be real with you. So I like covering, you know, drama and stuff like that. You know, I'm just like a little Wendy Williams in me. You know what I'm saying? Strapped up, big black strap on in my anus. That was too explicit. Sorry, guys. It's a family channel. But now it just seems like you're trying to almost insert yourself into it for money. Like, so why is it that you would feel unfulfilled by reading articles about games and giving commentary on it, but you do feel fulfilled involving yourself into drama? It doesn't make any sense. Thank you for $5 from Angry Toasty. I'm getting hit with hella nostalgia. I used to watch ReviewTechUSA a lot when I was young. What do you guys just hop around to fat people? Different fats, dude. It's crazy.
It cannot be overstated how bad antagonizing Phil's detractors was at this time when his views were still going severely downhill. And now Rich was set in abandoning his channel's mainstay content altogether.
It has to die, Jay. The news has to die. It gotta go away. There's no one that could convince me out of it this time.
In February, he restated his commitment, stating that he wants to make video game retrospectives.
I'm actually joined today by Jay. He's my editor, and those will be projects from...
When's the Jay saga? Didn't he fall out with this Jay? With the Jay? Jesus Christ.
Not to sound corny, from the heart. I don't want to hire outside script writers. I want it to be from us.
At this point in time, Rich has made more videos brainstorming what he wants to make than the actual videos he wants to make. This is never a good sign. And Jay, Rich's editors...
Yeah, it's like a kid with fucking ADHD trying to, like, have a thought, you know?
Saw what others did. And so Jay continued to try to convince him to keep doing the news videos. But Rich did not relent, and things went from bad to catastrophic.
I mean, now's the time to do those videos, you know? Like, make them shorter, make them under 10 minutes, and put them on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. You can fucking probably do pretty well.
Listen, I'll end it with this. My fat ass will go fucking bankrupt, getting the prettiest suit. I will go there with a smile on, because you know what?
There is an absolute shitstorm coming out right now.
It'll destroy your reputation.
Shit, I had that this morning, man. It's fucking horrible diarrhea.
And I'll get publicity out of it because...
Thank you for the $2 from Dummy Durst. Freddy Fazbear Tech USA. That would be lit. Yeah, you're right, man. Just a little backstory. He's constantly comes in here and donates money to me, asking me to play Five Nights at Freddy's. Too scary. Okay? I have it on VR. Too scary. Too scary, man. Too scary.
A giant pussy.
I wish there was a Five Nights at Freddy's, but instead of Five Nights at Freddy's, it was just Chica with huge fat boobs. And like instead of stuffing me into a suit, I would come. Dude, I'm so off. I'm so off today. Holy fuck. This is not even funny. Oh my god. I was halfway there to a humorous moment. But it just kind of died off there. So sorry guys. Sorry. I'll stop making jokes.
Canada wanted to sue me because his feelings were hurt. Like, you come here.
As it was coming out, late February, Jay was no longer working for Rich, and his firing was far from amicable. 8-Bit Eric, a relatively small channel, was covering the situation as it was evolving in Jay's Discord.
Why the hell did it happen?
And just as Rich had done to Big Cheese, he was making Facebook posts cryptically talking about the situation.
From Richard on his Facebook, it says, I need to be able to afford my rent. Proceeds to buy parts to upgrade the gaming PC I gave him, and dude got paid by me on top of that.
What?
I guess money magically floated out of thin air. Miracles do happen. Man, oh man, get fucked my boy.
I'm not understanding. So is the complaint that the guy was complaining he needed more money and then he was being irresponsible? What?
I guess money magically floated out of thin air. Miracles do happen. Man, oh man, get fucked my boy.
Rich deleted that post and apologized. But in that same apology, he still belittles Jay.
Richard, comes out and says, you know what, I deleted the post. Instead of making a public shit show, may the best man win, and by best man I mean I'll win. I do better without parasites attached to me anyway.
Okay, so what it sounds like, I don't even know what's happening. It really sounds like Rich can't afford this guy anymore because his content isn't really paying well enough, and the guy's like, hey, I need more money. Can you go back to doing the content that made money and I can edit it for you? And he's like, no, man. And he doesn't care or something. I mean, that's what I'm assuming.
Was quickly gaining attention, and there are a lot of smaller supports that build up this falling out. Though it appeared sudden, there were a few reasons Rich was combative. On Rich's side, he was annoyed that Jay did not want to create shorts for Rich's streaming channel. The reason Jay refused was because of lack of direction in this request. Rich's streams are full of dead air and generally lack substance. To ask Jay to scrub multi-hour long streams for usable clips, it did not win him over.
I mean, if he's his editor, then it's kind of his job, no?
But that was while Jay was still employed. There were also elements around the firing, like that the firing came from a text message.
Like, if you're changing your channel direction, you're like, hey, I want you to watch my streams and find, like, funny clips and then come whatever. That's a fine request. If the person doesn't want to do it, you could be like, all right, man, like, if you don't want to do this, like, I'm going to have to move on from you, but that's a perfectly reasonable, like, reason to end. And I can understand it from both sides, because if the original guy's like, yeah, you know, I'm editing his videos for him, and he'll give me, like, 30 minutes of footage, and I edit it down to, like, 25 minutes, like, that's cool, but I don't really want to sift through 4 or 5 hours of a stream every day. That's fine. But then, like, also, you know, if he's moving in that direction, that, you know what I mean? Like, that's just like, okay, it's time to separate ways. This just seems very dramatic, though.
And that Jay was fired on his birthday. There was also the matter of the retainer. As Jay stated, they had a deal in the case that Jay was fired that he would be owed a full month's pay.
All right, fair enough.
Rich initially did not want to honor this.
I put this in place because he was a nightmare to work with and unreliable at times. When he was told that he would have to pay me this, he said I was extorting, and he paid me half, leaving me in shock. He then brought the PC, which wasn't a gift. It was meant for me to work on his show and bring in money for both of us.
Rich had very recently given Jay a PC, though it was clear that this was for work. Rich was using this as leverage to not commit to the payment he was promised. What's also interesting about this computer is that Rich cared so little about it initially that he was going to give it away to Darkside Phil.
What? Why would you even give it to him?
So I'm literally still looking at the computer right now. Eventually, I have a friend, another friend up in Canada I'm going to give it to.
The reason Jay got the PC was because Darkside Phil refused it, possibly fearing that it may have spyware.
I'm so confused. Like, why are you so dumb when it comes to optics? I'm not understanding. So, like, let's say you fucking hate Jay and you think he's a piece of shit. Why even express that? Because you know it's going to have a negative impact on your channel. You know what I mean? Like, at least be a fake-ass bitch and just pretend to be a nice guy. And just, like, you know, be amicable just to disconnect from, like, the fucking drama insertion. But whatever. Thank you for the 2,000 dummy durs. 5 Nuts says, an anime has woman breasts. Play that. Alright, you find that for me, dude. You find that for me.
This escalated well into March. On March 5th, Jay tweeted, quote, I want to say that yesterday Rich sent me a bunch of really terrible audio messages that made it clear how he feels. I am done. I can't deal with nonsense anymore. I've been worried how this will look for him. I didn't want to have to say anything again, but I am done trying to help him. Unquote.
Right,
in a different tweet, Jay stated that he wasn't going to read them, but to ask Rich to play them on his show. Jay then tweets that he is done with the situation once more.
Since it's out there, you know what, Jay? I'll play the messages.
Do you realize how much damage you not getting a $500 when you've gotten so much extra from me throughout the years?
There's not much substance.
$500? Wait, you're saying that this guy only got paid $1,000 a month? Right? Because he said he paid him half. So are you telling me that you only pay this guy $1,000 a month? Damn, I wouldn't want to scrub through your fucking streams either if it's... you know what I mean? If that's all he's really getting paid.
And these initially private voice messages. They recap the drama and include some belittlement of Jay. However, Rich was furious that Jay exposed their existence, and now having paid Jay the money owed, he saw it fit to go after him rather than let things die down. Here, Rich provides reasons why Jay was not the best employee, including the times he refused to make clips and shorts for the channel.
You got paid to basically sit on your ass. Now, there are times I've made you wait with my terrible time management, and I will own that. But again, you stayed. How many times did I give you extra shit, extra money?
Rich played his hand. This is all he had against Jay.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to block him and move on.
This
probably should have just blocked him and moved on from the first place. What the fuck?
Was a lie. Though Rich lacked ammunition, he sought to continue the feud.
You're the sidekick everywhere you go. That's not jealousy saying that. When you used to sit there and sound like your balls were getting grabbed. JKB back with another video. You couldn't cut it. That's why you
Oh my god, he's going fucking like weirdly nuclear. What the fuck?
Became my editor. You got paid to basically sit on your ass. Now, there are times I've made you wait with my terrible time management. Now, dude, I admit all the fucking time when I'm in the wrong with stuff, all the time. I eat crow all the time when I fuck up. I'm not admitting it with this one. The heights I'm going to go to, because this is put a fire under my ass like you wouldn't believe, are going to be incredible.
This drama was coming out during Rich's worst performing month this year so far. But Jay also wasn't done, because he did a podcast breaking down what happened.
So let's get this straight. He said, I'm a parasite. Then he made a stream about it and said, I stand by what I said. And then days later, he apologized. He said, I shouldn't have done that. And now where are we at? I don't even know, because it's like being on a roller coaster that spins. I don't even know what direction we're in when it comes to what he's talking about.
As poorly as Rich continued to handle this, there were moments where Jay prodded Rich, excusing these prods as jokes. Like when he made a channel called ReviewTech Canada after being fired. This channel was removed after a day. Being that Rich has
this just seems so weird and petty. I mean, I don't know, man. It really just seems like they kind of separated ways. I guess Rich, will call him. ReviewTechUSA was going into the direction of doing more live streaming stuff, and he wanted more clips and whatnot for live streaming. The other guy didn't want to put that effort in. So it's perfectly normal and perfectly reasonable to break ties over that, because, you know, content changes, yada, 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 like whatever. Why make a public spectacle out of it, though? Like, this whole thing is fucking silly. Pay the guy out, even if you don't want to. Pay the guy out, because that's the contract you did. That's why you make contracts, because you're not going to want to do the thing later on. And then just take the fucking, like, just find a new editor and, like, whatever. Or do the clips yourself. You know, keep your stuff in mind for yourself. I mean, it's interesting to me, because, like, I stream, and I don't know how much ReviewTechUSA streams. I can't imagine he streams that much. I mean, we can go look at it. Do it yourself. Keep in mind. Oh, it looks like this Jay guy is actually watching him. Anyway, keep in mind when shut the fuck up. You have a clip you feel is entertaining, and just do it yourself. Like, yeah, it seems like he only streams like 3 hours a day, maybe every day. It's like, yeah, what do you? This one's only an hour. Sometimes they're 6 hours, whatever. So if you're only streaming like roughly 3 hours a day, keep it in mind for yourself and just be your own. That's not good. Be your own fucking editor, you know.
Had various detractor channels that follow him intently that are spin-offs of his channel's name. This could be seen as a strike at Rich. There was also the firing on his birthday that, while accurate, was getting the criticism that he was victimizing himself.
And it was supposed to be like a public joke where people went, oh, he's ReviewTech Canada for a day or whatever on his YouTube channel. I changed it literally for like 20 hours. My first stream was called I'm Fired on My Birthday, which is what technically happened. You know, and it was a joke.
In the overall picture, it did not matter because Rich was far more aggressive and a dam was beginning to leak. As Rich previously brought forward all reasons why Jay should be disliked.
Oh, he changed the guy's channel?
What? Users were finding more and more reasons why Rich should be felled. This was becoming a rabbit hole as one event was hooked to another, and slowly his controversial history was being dug up, like this podcast that he did with Jay.
How many times did he bring up people hate him? Yeah, you know, during the streams. Constantly. He in the last, like, I'd say 6 months, if you go back, he was proud of the fact that people didn't like him. And when we would stream together, and this is something I never talked about, he had Ethan Ralph's ex-wife on the show, quote unquote.
This was an event that happened just 2 months ago in the period that Jay and Rich still streamed together, when the alleged ex-wife of the controversial creator was interviewed. Naturally, it was a troll that strung Rich along for nearly 30 minutes. The troll then linked the call to a different troll that Rich willingly accepted.
Did you ever see that?
Wow, what a smart guy.
Time where because you kept mentioning the hard R before. Did you ever see when he was talking about the hard R?
Yes.
It meant something different when he said it.
Yeah, that was that the video you're talking about?
You know that hard R means, well, I don't want to say it, but
yeah, I mean, use the N-word, but some people mistakenly think that people are talking about the R slur, you know?
Well, we said rape before.
Yeah,
like,
okay, so I can say it? Are you saying I can say it?
Yeah, you could say
You're
it.
giving me the pass. Hard R means...
What'd you give him the pass to say that?
The troll goes on to say the N-word, and Rich and Jay fully understand the situation they were in.
Did they think that he meant like the R slur, you know, that you use for people in the IDD community? Which, by the way, guys, I don't like that. I don't like that word, brothers. Makes me a little sad. I use, every once in a while when I'm angry or driving, I'll use it, but I try to get out of my vocabulary, you know what I mean?
More of these moments...
I'm talking about the R slur, okay? I do not say the other one. Unless I'm playing League of Legends.
That make Rich a fool would come to light if he continued this crusade. And it seemed that Rich was fully committed to do so as he announced he would be on the podcast Locale Live, but then walked it back soon after.
We're doing a video on my channel, and we're both going to be candid. We're going to be professional, we're going to be civil, no one's going to yell. Yeah, I'm not going to do the Locale podcast. This is better. Not going to go on there.
This
I mean, it makes sense to not go on there, but I'm not. Why announce that you're going to go on there then?
video did not come, and the truce lasted only 4 days. It was this tweet of Jay's that possibly reignited the flame.
Oh, he's going to go on the LolCow podcast to air out his drama with his ex-employee?
Stating that he was going to do an interview with Darkside Phil, but it was going to be a positive one because he was sick of all the negativity. Rich sought to—
I mean, doesn't this... I've seen of this guy's streams where he's just, like, constantly titling the stream and, like, talking about Darkside Phil. Isn't he a big... like the center for the negativity of Darkside Phil? No.
ruin this opportunity by exposing the time
Oh, he thought he was going to say rape? Does he think that's the R slur? That's how innocent. Okay.
Jay talked negatively about Phil. Rich then went on to tweet that Jay tried to extort him over the phone, but being that it wasn't recorded, there is no existing proof. Jay then responded to Rich, and this soon
kind of a tough sell
became back and forth. Rich stated that his channel would outperform Jay's a year from now, and Jay responded by saying that Rich has a clear advantage, while adding that he would not recommend working for Rich. This ended with Jay calling Rich a crazy ex, and also calling him by a nickname, Dickie. Just like the fake
what's that?
ex-wife Rich interviewed, this was also a nugget into Rich's humiliating history. Specifically, this old video of Rich talking about one of his prior jobs where a strung-out coworker gave him a disparaging nickname.
He continues on and goes, even better. Even better. I'm gonna call you Dickers. You are Dickers!
Because of
what?
The resurfacing of this nickname, Dickers is what detractors of Rich would derive.
Did he get offended by that? Don't people call like Wings of Redemption like Richard or something? That pisses him off too?
Derisively refer to him as.
His name is actually Jordy.
In retaliation to Jay's tweet, Rich finally went on the LolCow Live podcast where he breaks down the situation.
Oh, okay. Smart.
What I'm saying is, when I hear your point of view, I'm on your side. I would really like Jay to get here to hear Jay's point of view on this, but
I would love him here too.
Everything that I'm hearing, I have to side with Rich.
Though Keemstar points out that Jay was not present to deliver his point of view, he does side with Rich. And with Rich now feeling justified and victorious, he makes it abundantly clear that he is done with Jay drama, even considering the times he said he was done before, to then only jump back in.
I am going
Seems like this guy really just loves being in part of drama. Okay.
to say to people, please refer.
I mean, maybe he feels like almost a positive interaction with different drama going on because he'll get some he'll get some views in some capacity. So he feels like I mean, maybe that's part of it. He gets like an influx of views from it. I don't know, fucking idea. Why would you want to be part of that?
To this, whatever episode this is, that's it. Like, I don't want to talk about him anymore. I don't want to, like, I'm done. Like, yeah, I know I've went back and forth out of anger.
I love this feedback loop of like constantly telling people that you're not going to talk about a thing anymore. Like you're trying to get the final, like trying to put the energy out there that this is it for me. I don't want to talk about this.
Also reveals a few details of this upcoming high-quality project that is supposed to set the tone.
Again, holy fuck.
For the future of his channel.
It's a retrospective on the industry and how it's fucked right now. And it's about 40 minutes long, and I, to the best of my ability, try to make it like as close
industry
as I can.
As in like YouTube or like industry like
gaming, how it's changed and how the industry right now is like.
There's just so much more in gaming. There's a lot more titles in games. Because now there's so much accessibility, you know?
Like in limbo, kind of like me. And
I feel like media in general, like, is tries to play it safe by sticking to like a lot of sequels and stuff. It's like movies. And the reason, I don't know why for games, but like the reason, my understanding of why movies are so safe nowadays is because back in the day, you know, you make a movie and if it didn't do particularly well, like that was okay because they'll release it on DVD and then or VHS and they'll make like a lot of money doing that, etc., etc. But nowadays that doesn't really exist with Netflix, so you can't make as much of your money back. So they feel less inclined to take risks. You got to make most of your money like the box office, and like some kind of, you know, sales for that. So I found that to be kind of interesting. I mean, maybe there's something similar to that in the video game industry. I really have no fucking idea.
It's fucked, and I kind of just go and, well, I just went balls deep into it. So it's like 40 minutes long.
His description of this project was very broad, but that wasn't what Rich was talking about now on his stream.
Dude, I was on the LolCow podcast today. I put the final nail in Jay's fucking live streaming career. I'm feeling pretty good, actually.
Why? What?
No, it'll never be worked out. We will never be friends again.
Rich, still in this high, now challenges 8-Bit Eric.
I ruined one career. Let me ruin another one. You're trying to hurt my fucking career, so come on the show.
Why? Why is he so obsessed with this type of like behavior, centralizing his content around this?
Let's see if I can go 2 for 2 today.
8-Bit Eric responds the same day, confused at Rich's challenge.
You said sorry to me. You sent me an apology. Apology didn't mean jack because look how you're acting. It's a cycle. You need help. All right?
Perhaps this is a mental lapse, though Rich doesn't seem to think so.
You're right. I have to admit, because then I'll be no better than I do need help. I have more issues now. I've always had issues, I'll admit it.
I mean, I doubt you need psychological help. Like, everybody has particular issues and struggles with some of the different ways that they interact in the world. It doesn't mean you need some kind of explicit or specific psychological help. If you can identify the behavior, chances are you can correct the behavior yourself with just some, you know, behavioral changes. It might be difficult, but you can do it yourself. Like, you know, not everybody needs a fucking therapist in order to change. Like, that thought process can, you know, lead you to just really lean into the crutch of like, well, I guess I can't change it because I'm not a therapist. I need a therapist until I go and take that step. But, you know, you don't need fucking explicit help. Like, everybody has issues with the way that they interact with stuff, so.
I have more issues now, especially after the events that happened. What? And it does reflect in things.
The cherry on top was Rich's reason for feeling vindicated was his appearance on Locale Live. But that was not even uploaded officially to their channel.
I forgot the episode isn't up yet. A lot of you don't understand. I'm sorry.
There was at least a few days of silence. This could have ended here, but then Jay, on his live stream, received a donation from what appeared to be at first glance a random fan.
Hey Jay, I love the show.
Is that like AI?
And think you're doing a great job. However,
what the fuck is Jay wearing? What the hell?
I think it's disingenuous that you said that Rich copied your humor. Why lie?
What?
Yeah, I didn't lie. I don't know about the part. I never said that Rich stole my humor. I said that Rich and I developed all the humor together.
Jay, suspicious about this donation, likely looked at
It's an oddly specific donation. I'd be suspicious too. What the fuck?
PayPal address, which confirmed his suspicions.
Are you kidding me? Okay. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Jay, in disbelief that Rich would do something this stupid, held off on informing his audience and streamed as usual until he was interrupted by another donation.
Why?
Wait, what?
Why did you not go on a show with Rich when Rich went on the Loco podcast? He's awful. But if you had nothing to hide, why they'd going on a stream with him? You went on a podcast. Wouldn't it be better to clear the air with him there?
Alright, so a couple things. One, I don't understand grown men dressing up in fucking outfits like this. That's number one. At least like this. Like some, I mean, I cosplay shit if it looks cool, I get it. Not this so much. But then two, why would you want to go on some dumbass podcast to air out meaningless drama? Like, I don't understand the thought process. Like, it makes sense. It's a mature move for him to not do that. I don't understand.
And then another.
Oh, brother.
And another.
Maybe you won't come on a stream because you have a lot to hide.
What the fuck?
Oh, man. White Lando says, I wonder who that actually is. And somebody else says, people have no life.
That's really weird.
Anyways.
This was brought to the attention of Rich, who then openly admitted those came from him.
Why would you do that? I don't understand. What a weird behavior.
If I wanted to, you know, say something, I wanted to be a sexy lady. Enjoy the money, Jay.
I like how he, that was the joke. He had this ready for this joke that he wanted to come up with for the stream. Like what?
That's all you gotta worry about.
This was all happening while Rich was killing his channel. He had very few allies, and even the Locale podcast that he thought vindicated him were not so supportive.
Dude, his show is garbage. So I'll click on it
okay.
every once in a while to see what's going on, right? And every time I'm on there, he's playing with his boobs, and he's got chickens, and he's making gay jokes.
Like the jokes themselves are gay, or he's making jokes that are like gay jokes, like jokes about gay people, or are the jokes just stupid? You know, well, I know that's a pejorative to use gay like that, but you know, I'm a little bit of an old school guy, so I kind of would get it. You know,
like I'm gonna fuck my editor, like I'm gonna fuck you in the ass, and it's like what? What is going on?
For the 5th month in a row, his views were on a fast decline. What was meant to bring them up was his high-quality video that he had been promoting for several months now.
I mean, even if he did produce some fucking high-quality video that took him several months to make, it's not going to be the groundbreaking explosion that he thinks it is. And even if it was, you'd have to continue to make that type of content consistently for people to, like, care. So is he actually doing that? Like,
it was unfortunate it released on April 1st. These are the first 14 seconds of the video with absolutely no alteration made.
restart, please.
Try to relax your anus.
It's time to talk about my man history.
This nearly 40-minute long video that was his gaming retrospective was a phenomenally terrible video. It is presented as Rich's retrospective, but Rich was not anyone prominent in the gaming environment nor introspective, so for him to select himself as the porthole already severely limits interest and relatability as it makes it largely about himself. On that note, it is full of inside jokes and clips that even when understood, do nothing but interrupt the video. The pacing is also entirely off. Instead of an intro or hook, it opens with a disorienting mess of sound effects and commercials. His tone throughout was unconfident and confused. It also has detracted full...
Damn, that's brutal, man. That's gotta fuck him up. So he released a shitty video? I mean, listen, we've all been there, but damn, man, that's gotta be brutal. You spent months and months on this, and it just sucks. Is it still up?
Think ads of the products he was talking about, not to mention his own cutaways.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
The comments were all criticizing this work. Quote, I had to make sure I wasn't signed to Netflix. This man hyped up this video saying it would be 40 minutes long, and most of it is just trailers to make a 5-minute video longer. I think this video was way overhyped. I thought we were gonna get an actual video essay with a solid script and good editing. This only feels like a regular RTU rambling video, but longer and some random clips. Unquote. Rich's video was not entirely without value. It still provided a decent amount of entertainment, just not in the way he anticipated.
Read this one, man. That's a great one.
I can see why you had an editor before, because this is a rough cut at best. And honestly, you being high out of your mind is extremely distracting.
That was from the Kino Casino live stream.
Damn, that's brutal, man. That's fucking brutal.
Segments of which are uploaded to their Clips channel on YouTube. As Rich's channel was dying, his own videos were fighting a losing battle against various channels tearing him down. Searching ReviewTechUSA now will return some of his videos, but mostly the Kino Casino clips and Snort Hogan's own videos.
Damn, Snort Hogan strikes again. I mean, when I looked up ReviewTechUSA, that's what it came up with. I mean, obviously, well, I guess this guy, JKB, I don't know who that is. I think that's his old editor. There's Papa Gut. Oh my god, people are watching. RTU streams. Keffels. Okay, incredible. Yeah, I feel that. I'm not quite at that tipster level yet, but
I'm gonna call you Dickers. You!
You get called Dickers every day at work. You're Dickers.
Damn, it must have really bothered him too. What the fuck?
Imagine telling this story of when you got pressed.
The dam finally broke all at once. The Kino Casino was resurfacing the Big Cheese drama. Rich's doxing, the new egg fiasco, the times his mother interrupted his stream, theories about his weight loss, his falling out with Jay, all of his history and more like his dating profile, even looking into when his Discord server had an NSFW section, and a user uploaded imagery that wasn't taken down.
He shows, hey, like 4 years ago, the mods were added about this and they swept up the lolicon, and he
What the fuck? Now there's lolicon involved?
asked, why did you keep lolly on your public channel, Rich, for years?
Additionally, there was this video of Rich shouting in a mall to win an all-night spat.
All right, everybody, I'm spreading the breaking news that the quartering is a giant pussy in public. So here we go.
Oh, is he just constantly trying to like get into? It sounds like he's just constantly trying to insert himself into controversy. Like I like I said, I like covering controversial stuff. It's like funny. It's fun. I like drama. I'm a fucking catty bitch. But like, why would you want to constantly insert yourself into it? That just seems so stupid and annoying and exhausting. I really don't get that.
Here we go. Hello, everybody. I have breaking news. The quartering is a giant pussy. Thank you.
That's just weirdly embarrassing. Why would you do that?
That's all.
The Kino Casino was covering Rich's history and watching his live streams heavily during the month of April. As it turned out, Rich was watching them as well.
Oh. Why would you... I don't really understand. Why would you do that? That just makes you look weird.
Wait.
You're taking like offline stuff online. It's just bizarre as fuck.
Did he have it open by accident? I think he had it open by accident, and then our stream started playing.
No way!
Like our pre-stream.
That is our... He had our stream open, bro, you're right!
The importance of this catch was that both Rich's stream and the Kino Casinos were live simultaneously. The Kino Casino dug up some minor drama and titled their stream ReviewTechUSA Exposed. Rich, likely seeing this, decided to address what he thought the drama was. A miscalculation that opened up a can of worms no one knew about but him.
All of a sudden, I'm looking in Dropbox, and if you have the Dropbox app, for those of you who are familiar, you see like the recent whether it be apps or files that you've been using. And I'm like,
wait, what's about to happen?
Why the f am I seeing pictures of my ex's other kids?
What Rich
Wait, what?
just admitted was that his Dropbox was recently hacked. The hack was of Canadian origin. Within that Dropbox were images of his ex's kids in bikinis.
What the fuck? Okay. Incredible.
But it was set up in that way because they all had a shared account. Rich verifies the story by calling who he claims to be his ex-wife.
Quick question for you. As you're sleeping. Those pictures in my Dropbox, why are they there?
Because my kids used to upload their phones to our Dropbox.
Before they sold them, correct?
Yeah. Before they trade them back.
What? This is so weird. I mean, it's probably nothing is going on, but this is just such a weird thing to admit. This is just such a weird thing to admit, and it looks so bizarre. Especially if you're coming out with it first. It makes it look even weirder. What the fuck? I mean, it sounds like, if it's true, that like the kids would just upload pictures of themselves to the Dropbox, and they happen to be wearing like their bathing suits, which is like whatever. But for a grown man to have pictures like that of someone else's kids, that is very concerning. And so again, it sounds like an innocent little thing, like the kids were doing, but it definitely comes off as very bizarre. But okay. Okay.
Okay, that's all. Go back to sleep.
As these streams are going on, suddenly the pieces are falling into place as to why Rich decided to come forward with the existence of these photos.
We had Rich exposed literally about something completely different, and he thought he was hacked. He was using a VPN that had Saint Sue Marie apparently or some shit on the VPN, and he thought we went through his Dropbox.
How stupid is this guy?
I don't know.
There were many theories crafted that were not generous in explaining why those photos were on there. The facts are that in May 2024, ReviewTech was at its lowest point in over 10 years. It is a dead channel. This is not drawn from its decline or speculation of its future. ReviewTechUSA is a dead channel because on May 21st, 2024, Rich posted this goodbye video.
I'm over what at least ReviewTechUSA was. I did this for over a decade. Over a decade. I got to sit in front of a camera and be an idiot for a living.
Rich in this video also explained he had some personal, possibly family-related things he was dealing with last month.
Oh yeah, well we had the whole kid saga, whatever manifested with that. Is his kid okay, or?
As for his channel, he reiterates that he is tired of the news and is giving up on it, but will post every now and then if something catches his interest. His efforts going forward will be in live streaming and his music production, but it was not even—
Ah yes, the music production. That'll definitely take off.
An entire 24 hours later that he posted another news video. Here he excuses his immediate comeback as a contractual obligation for his sponsor. None of the top comments are discussing the subject of the video, but rather Rich's short-lived goodbye. This is not the first time this happened. Even barring all the videos Rich has made stating that he is seeking to make a different form of content, in 2022, in response to YouTube's inaction of Quantum TV, Rich tweeted he is, quote, officially retiring from making conventional videos on ReviewTechUSA. YouTube has made it abundantly clear that my kind of content either has to be heavily censored or it is no longer welcome on the platform, unquote. This did not last and he returned. And as of June 2024, Rich and Jay had made up once again.
Oh my god. They made up after all that fucking crazy shit.
ReviewTechUSA is hovering around 300,000 views for the past 30 days. It has been abandoned. Though Rich can still be found on his streaming channel RTU Streams, where he streams intoxicated. Like all creators that stream, his audience is drawn closer to him, therefore increasing the interactions between him and his building detractor base. Everything in the past 10 years has been building up to this moment. From Rich's controversial past that serves as a base for the hate, to the killing of his channel which provides discovery to detractor channels, and the tragedies in his personal life that have skyrocketed his anxiety, which has him responding both impulsively and angrily. Rich has now completed his transition, not to how he wanted to see himself as a respected content creator that creates long-form passion projects that are beloved, but as a laughingstock that constantly shifts in his intentions.
I'll be absolutely honest with you, this is fucking kind of boring. Like, I'm not even trying to be a dick. Like, obviously, very well made video. I'm not criticizing the guy, June the King or anything. It's just like, it all kind of boiled down to this guy is a little too sensitive and sometimes kind of dumb and talks about his trolls too much. But it doesn't really seem like that big of a deal. You know? Like, he's a little bit of a goofy guy, but that's about as bad as it gets. I don't know, man. It just kind of didn't seem like that big of a deal. But
how he views his relationships, and how he sees his future, that is hard to see as anything but grim.
Ah, yes, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, my favorite. Okay, man. Yeah, like I said, I feel like, cool. Didn't really seem like that big of a deal. It just kind of seemed like, you know, he's a little petty, a little silly sometimes. I mean, definitely kind of immature when it comes to some of his interactions with his employees and whatnot. Maybe a little spiteful, but I don't know. As far as like lol cow shit, it's not really that spicy. It's just kind of like, kind of a silly little fat guy. You know, same, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the video was well made, so cool.